Well, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining me. This is LCID 932 on YouTube, and we are going to do a live recap of Love is Blind UK episodes 5 through 9. Please like the channel, like the video, subscribe, and certainly share it with a friend. We are going to cover this because Netflix decided, for all intents and purposes, not to give us the usual 4 episodes, but 5 episodes in one sitting. And since I am a glutton for Love is Blind, I did not mind sitting through all 5 episodes to get it together. So I am joined today by Trey and by Struggle Streams, which I know is JR. How are you guys today?
Well, thank you. How you doing, Trey? How you doing, Elsie?
Trey, are you hearing?
Yes, I'm here. I got you. I'm back.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, yes. All technical.
That's why we struggle streaming.
That's why we appreciate you being here with the correct name, JR. So I don't know how you guys would prefer to do this, but I prefer to start kind of like couple by couple and kind of go through their journey, and then maybe branch off into the family, branch off into the friend connections as well.
Good with me.
So let's start it off how episode 5 started. Benaya and Nicole. What do you guys got to say about Benaya and Nicole?
Everybody at once, huh? Okay.
Are you moaning and groaning for Benaya or Nicole?
I don't it's hard to put a finger on these two. It's like I want to root for Benaya personally, but he exhibits it's a little concerning for me. Oh, and maybe this is not fair to her, but for some odd reason, I don't trust Nicole. Like so something, something, something ain't right there. Now maybe a lot of it has to do with, this is my first time talking to everybody about this show, whatever. I know you guys talked with Kojo about the first 4 episodes. Maybe it's something about how obvious Picker is way off, and that still bothers me a little bit. It leads to a certain blinding of her own behaviors and what she would accept and what she won't accept. She seems like a person when she puts the blinders on, they're just on. Granted, I'm about to say our friend Sam. He's not our friend. Granted, Sam was not the obvious choice, but I would have to say, I think you have to look into the fact that she chose him first for a reason. What is that? The obvious reason is not to continue with him. At least us as watchers and fans are pretty obvious. Like, nah, it's not it. He has one of Sam's main issues that I have for him that he has with himself is his own insecurities that pops up. And he has massive insecurities within himself. It makes him probably the most inconsistent person that we've come across, at least in the UK season so far. Very inconsistent.
Would you? Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I was going to bring JR in, and I would say, would you say that Nicole allowed kind of Sam past her guard because, she was kind of, I hate to say it, but she was, hurt by Benaiah not being able to give her the reassurance. But because she saw that Sam was able to give the reassurance to her, she just, fell in head over heels. What do you think, JR?
I think there's a little bit of that. I think Nicole was indecisive. Um, I think she really wanted to make sure she left without failing what she had applied to come on the show to do. So, with the two options that presented themselves, she didn't just choose Sam. She said that she fell in love with Sam during the pods, right? So she used the L word. So my thing was, and this is when I realized how indecisive she was. How are you going to go from you love him to then when you see him physically and probably spend one night with him, all of that's gone, and now you're thinking about Benaiah instead. So it made me question whether she was doing it for the right reason. But I do think Benaiah is much more her speed. They seem to have a lot in common, personally. But there are things about Benaiah and Nicole that kind of, and no one's perfect, but they both have things that I think could be counterproductive to the relationship. Sam is very egotistical. Like I said before, any guy who spends $5,000 on a nose job and things like that, yeah, there's an element of vanity about him and an element of arrogance about him too that comes with that. And that wouldn't have sat well with Nicole. Eventually, it would have ground her down. But Benaiah isn't a superficial guy. I just feel like he has more eyes on Sam trying to win the battle for Nicole rather than actually being fully into Nicole. And I only say that because he wasn't prepared to give her that commitment in the past, and now all of a sudden she's come to him and he's ready to commit. Yeah, just I don't know. I don't like.
Well, he's ready to commit without a ring.
Right.
So I'm gonna ask, the question, are we proposing out here without rings? Is that acceptable? Is that what's done?
People do it every day, B.
But you have the budget. You have a Netflix budget. You could have gone to the store before you came to the shop.
That goes to show you that I don't think Benaiah even. I think he was called in and said, "Hey, we want to set up to you, Nicole. You." Who knows how that conversation was going to go? Who knows? So I don't know. I don't know if I would have come ready to propose to someone who obviously made me the second choice. And you gotta have a conversation.
Right.
You gotta have a conversation. Even that really wasn't, at least for me. Even that was as satisfying of an answer as she gave. Because either way you cut it, he still said, and this issue with the first JR to. I still don't know if he's ready. He's not. He's very nomadic man.
Mm-hmm.
So you're trying to tell me all of a sudden you're ready to put your nomadicness aside? You could be, but the way he's moving, it still doesn't seem like it all the time.
Mm.
And then number two, on top of that, I like Benaiah. I don't want to say, okay, let's just say it. The way he's moving, way he, especially in his altercation with Sam, to me, he's still moving man who. So now he's trying to overcompensate, overcorrect, and everything how he specific reason. He's just upset with Sam, but he's way too bothered by this whole situation, the way he's acting. He's flushed, he's flushed, down. And to use Nicole as excuse to why he doesn't like Sam. Honestly, he had an issue with Sam before Nicole even came into the picture. A few guys did. If you pay Sam rub people the wrong period. So I don't think he liked on day one. But he using Nicole as a catalyst, like, no, this is the real and that's but say that say that. But the way he's coming across is like Bernard is not settled in here. He's not settled.
He definitely is not.
Too emotional.
Yeah, he definitely is not. Trey, you're going in and out a little bit, so let me get JR in here for his thoughts.
Well,
unless you want me to go, JR.
No, I'm here. Okay. I agree with most of what Trey said. The thing is, Nicole was given a ring, and it was given a ring by Sam. She placed it on the wrong hand. So I don't know how important the ring actually is. I think it's the symbolism that made, the gesture of actually getting to the altar that Nicole's after, not necessarily the ring. And Trey's right. Benaiah does have a nomadic lifestyle to a degree. He's not settled in one place. So how far the relationship goes, he'll definitely have to settle at some point. I don't think that nomadic lifestyle is going to be something that she can, say is an absolute certainty that she's going to be happy with. But it's early days. They've only just known each other a few weeks and they're already at this stage. But yeah, he's going to need to sort that out. And I think he's definitely going to have to get over his dislike for Sam, because that's not what you're there for. I can see why he has a bit of a grudge, because he did lose out to Sam in the pods. Right? I can understand that. But he went and smeared Sam in the pods anyway, before any decision was made. So there's a personal dislike there. I think they're like chalk and cheese. I think Benaiah looks at Sam, thinks he's an arrogant SOB, and I think Sam is smug and doesn't even consider Benaiah a threat, which is why Benaiah's kind of feeling like, oh, you're dismissing me as a man type thing, and I don't like you anyway, and now I've got your girl. And then now he's warning his girl, you stay away from Sam and this, that, the other. He's doing too much. You got her now, try and make the most of it. And Nicole seems happy to be with Benaiah, so she's definitely finished whatever connection there was with Sam. They talked it out, and now coming up to the wedding day and even meeting the families, she apologized, and she heard how Benaiah wasn't eating and sleeping and all this other stuff. So I think she really realized that Benaiah cares for her, and when they get to the altar, I think they're going to both say yes, to be honest.
Jumping ahead of me on the predictions. My question would be, I don't think, Benaiah lost to Sam. I think he lost to himself. He's the one who couldn't give, Nicole the reassurance she wanted, and she just hopped off the train. He kind of tripped himself up. Yes, so I can see how he can see it as, oh, Sam slipped in and got my girl. But if you
Right.
wanted her to be your girl, you should have stepped up and given her the commitment she wanted. But you didn't want it. For me, it's kind of like a toddler on the playground.
Mhm.
It's like, I don't want you playing with my toys. I'm going to
Mhm.
go home with my toys. But if I catch you playing with it, I'm mad. You
Right.
know, that's where Benaya. But the part with Benaya, you know, I don't hold the whole nomad, you know, to him. I need more information. I totally need more information. There are people who are working for their own country's government that are moved from station to station to station
Of course.
that are considered nomadic. I need to see his tax returns and his bank account.
Okay. Well, it doesn't work like that over here. Okay, I hear that now. That doesn't work.
I can't see it. Is it in Germany with his mama? I can't see it.
Yeah, no, that doesn't work over here. That's strictly a US thing where that's a requirement. Over here, you ain't gonna see that. I don't think Nicole would ever ask for that, to be honest. Because it's just not something that the ladies here are that interested in.
So how do you verify funds?
I don't really think there's that much of a heavy emphasis on that here. And that's why, as you've seen all the episodes, how many couples have you seen bring up funds, career, earnings, anything? It's only really Freddie, and that's because of his family's business. But everybody else, there hasn't been a discussion about funds, uh, how big is your house, what type of car you drive, are you a six-figure earning man? None of that, because it doesn't happen here like that. Different. That's one of the major differences you'll see from this show compared to the US version.
We'll have to do another live where you kind of explain it to me, because I know the ladies are evaluating the men somehow.
Yes, there are other ways to do it. There are other ways to do it. You value your connection with the person and your compatibility, but
No, I mean the financial. Can you afford Nobu? We'll get to that couple. But
no. That's what I'm saying. It's not really a materialistic experience when you're dating here. They don't really care if you can afford Nobu, if you go shopping at Primark, Selfie. They don't really care. There are some guys who are very affluent, but again, on this type of show, you're not going to see those guys.
Okay.
The only ladies that's brought up the material like that is Maria and Jessica, I believe. The only two that's really brought it up.
And Maria's coming from a standpoint of she's not going to be a culturally she's a stay-at-home mom in her culture, and she doesn't want to work while she's having kids and all that stuff. That's the only reason why that came up. Not really because of how much Tom earns.
We'll get to Tom's deep pockets and short arms a little bit later. Well, continuing with Nicole and Benaya, the family visits. And I'm sorry, Nicole's dad reminds me of Aaron Neville. The minute I saw that man, I heard "Stand By Me" sung by Aaron Neville. I'm not sure if you know who Aaron Neville is, Struggle Streams, but
yeah,
we could do it side by side. But her parents were there, and they had a very lovely visit. What did y'all think about the visit with the parents?
I thought it went well, considering they seemed to like him. I mean, but not when you just get to meet him, he's not hard. He's hard to dislike. Let me put it that way. He was a very nice guy, so I wasn't too surprised of his meeting with her family going pretty well. I was a little more surprised of the meeting between Nicole and mother and sister. I was more interested in that. That was the one that was a little more telling. And actually, it was more telling in Benaya's sense. It was more telling in Benaya because Nicole, I think, handled that as well as you can. Actually, I was very impressed how she handled it. She came in apologetic. You know what? I answer this way. To answer your question earlier, Elsie, um, why Benaya didn't give her reassurance. I was going to answer that by saying, how can you give someone reassurance when you're not sure about them yourself? Because at that time, I don't think he was that sure about Nicole, because she was showing interest into another man that you as a guy know ain't ish. So, and I've done this before. So if I know you're into a guy that I know ain't ish, I'm sorry. I'm looking at you like, all right, what's going on up here for real? What's really going on here? I like you, but I'm seeing what your other interests are, and they're telling me a lot about you. So let me take a step back and take a deeper look at this. What's going on? Ooh, got a lot going on there. Yeah.
Yeah, but you're not dating the gentleman, so he's showing a different side.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not worried about me dating the gentleman. I'm worried about her mindset. That's what it's about. That's all I care about. I don't blame you for your past of this and that third, but hey, patterns are patterns for a reason. Who you, the type of people you date it makes a pattern for a reason. It is what it is. You try to escape it, you can say, hey, that past is what it is. Nah. If you are dating a certain type of woman or a certain type of dude, you have a string of past relationships dating that person, I kind of got a sense of who you might be.
Yeah, but Trey, my problem with that whole scenario is that you even met the person or know them, so to make an analysis.
That's true, but
unless it's a love is blind situation, you should never ever know.
Well, yeah. Well, see, here's where that I'm about to tell some of my secrets. Here's how you get about that. When you're in a conversation, young lady, hey, this conversation might come up. So who did you date in the past? And honestly, for most people, if you just let them talk, they will tell it. So you can kind of get a sense of the type of guys she may have dated, judging by what she went through with them, and vice versa. You can kind of get a sense like, and just ask questions. Oh yeah, how did that work? Wait, why did he say that? Well, why did you say that? What happened there? And you can just put the pieces together.
Listen, ladies, Trey handing out truth serum.
Hey, it is what it is.
JR?
Yes. Hold on. Yes, Jay. I am a part of someone's past, so it applies to me as well. That's why I'm able to say this with confidence. How you move will also tell people who you are in the future. It is what it is. So if you got a pattern of moving a little funny, guess what's going to happen? Your homeboy be moving a little funny. I don't know. That's how that goes. If someone says, nah, that's a solid dude, or nah, she good. She's solid. She's somebody to respect, this and that third, you're going to get respect. They're going to approach you differently. It's what it is.
Okay, well, I definitely was interested to see Nicole meeting Benaya's family because he's German. There's I think everybody knows that historically Germany has had some issues in Europe with racism and things like that. So it was interesting to see how well she managed to get along with the family. And at first, it looked a bit shaky, but then they opened up, and it was quite an endearing situation. I think when she came in apologetic, and like I said, she heard how Benaya was feeling. Despite him coming across Like he didn't want to commit and this, that, the other. Sounded like he was pretty broken up to me. So yeah, that was the interesting part for me. The meeting with her family, I think they're just happy that she's happy. So they would have accepted him regardless, because they can see how she feels about it. And being that it's her second bite at the cherry, I think they, some people may not trust her discernment, but I think her family are behind her 100% with whoever she decides to go with.
Yeah, I like that her dad was very open. Her dad was very interested. He seemed like he was, giving Benaiah a strong chance to talk to him and, tell him about his life. The mom was a silent observer, and I was like, Mama going to probably talk on the car ride home. But, Mama did, give her blessing as well. And I like that Ben's family isn't afraid to tell him what he needs to do as well. And they're kind of like, you need to stop. This is an issue, yes, but it's an issue of the past. Everybody's telling him. His sister's telling him, forget about Sam. Sabrina was telling them, hey, you won the prize. You have the girl. Forget about Sam. It's Benaiah. And I hate to say it this way because I have no judgment on the fact that you don't have, a location of your own. But Sam is living rent-free in your mind.
Yep.
He is living, and he is just, his tentacles are going all over your mind, and now it's affecting your relationship with Nicole. Let the man rest. Get Freddie and lay Sam to rest in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
And leave him alone. Throw some dirt on him and keep on going, because you will allow this to infect your relationship with Nicole.
Yeah, and it doesn't help that when Benaiah did try to confront Sam, on one of the few occasions he's done so, Sam said, listen, the only reason why me and your girl ain't together is because I didn't want to sleep with her the first night. So, you can have her now. I wasn't attracted to her like that type thing. And that's going to stick in Benaiah's craw, as you guys say. Like, he ain't going to forget that. I hope that if they do fall out and they have arguments and all that, he controls himself and he doesn't try and throw that in Nicole's face. Right?
But then that would mean he's believing Sam's truth.
Yeah.
And as we saw, Sam changes the story several times.
Nicole didn't deny it, unfortunately. There was no protest from what Sam said. And without giving away everything, Nicole has basically said that she didn't feel the spark or the connection when they were alone together. So that could have been the intimacy spark. Like, he wasn't prepared to do that. And she's a very touchy-feely person, and her and Benaiah are compatible in that way. But like I said, Benaiah needs to get over it. He needs to just focus on his relationship now. Stop trying to go at Sam, because Sam will finish you. You're too fragile. He doesn't really care about you like that. And Sam's moved on. Sam's trying to flirt with someone else's wife right now. And that person's wife, I'm sure we're going to talk about it soon, but that person's wife seems to be very interested in meeting up with Sam, despite already being engaged, which is quite terrible.
So since we have talked, we can use that as a segue. Since we're talking about Sam, we could certainly use that as a segue to talk about that next couple.
Right.
The next couple is Catherine and Freddie.
100%. Yep.
When we left them, Catherine's rolling her eyes when Mama said Freddie's loyal. Rolling her eyes that, you don't know your son. And her mind is once a cheater, always a cheater. And JR, I'm gonna need your assessment on Freddie's home. That I need.
You need me to go and inspect it. Yeah, like Freddie, I think what we're seeing from Freddie is that he seems to be, if you're talking about from a wealth aspect, he seems to be in a family business which has a steady trade which they can pass down through their generations, which is like funeral home management, stuff like that. And I think he lives a very sheltered life. I think he literally does his work, takes care of his brother, is a very much family oriented person. And I think Catherine is the opposite, which is why she may find him boring. And which is why I think she had the initial connection with Ollie, and now she has a connection with Sam. I think those Sam and Ollie are two dudes that intrigue her because their personalities are more aligned to what she's used to dating or who she wants to date. Whereas Freddie looks great, but the personality isn't, gelling with what she's looking for. And she's also very mean, malicious, and nasty with some of the things she says to Freddie as well. So that's a dead giveaway. She's ready to sleep with him first night twice, as they proudly profess. But when it comes to the conversation and some of the more intimate moments between them verbally, she seems to be ready to flip. She's quite bipolar in how she does it too. It's like she'll compliment 1 minute and then she'll cut him down just like that. And she can't see the hurt on his face. And we can see it. But he doesn't, it's like he's in a state of flux. He doesn't know what to say at times because her words are so cutting. It's like he's like, man, I don't know how to react. He's got this sad look on his face. This guy went from having a spark, an energy about him, and it's quickly being destroyed by Catherine, which isn't good.
Trey, your thoughts on our dude Freddie?
Me, Catherine seems to be, kind of piggybacking off of what JR said. Seems to me, Catherine keeps trying to bring Freddie down to her moral level. And I do mean moral level. It's interesting. Freddie, as we said, is he go to work, he works with dead bodies, he works with people in their grief, and he seems to be a very deep feeling person. If you notice what his sister was saying about him, he feels deeply. He's an empathetic person. It's probably why he's in this job that he is, and he's good at it. But Catherine, well, let's just say it, at least in this instance with Freddie, she is a more selfish individual. She's going to be the one that's going to take, and not give much in return when it comes to Freddie.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe she might be dealing with an inkling of, if you notice, okay, Freddie keeps saying how he may feel like he's not enough for her. But in reality, I think Catherine is seeing that she is not enough for Freddie. Not on this level. So keep, as JR is saying, keeps trying to bring him down for some odd reason. It is weird. I'm like, what are you doing? Even to the point, Freddie comes off so perfect, which is probably one of the big main red flags of most women's gonna see in him. Like, what's up with him? He's too perfect. What's going on here? So she's looking for something. And the moment he admitted to, okay, I had a brief of infidelity in a relationship in the past, that was 7 years ago, right?
He was caught. He was caught.
Yes.
Yep.
Let's not sugarcoat it. He didn't come. He didn't come forward. He was caught.
We can get to the points of it. So yes, he was caught. So yes, she immediately jumped down his throat. She was looking for something to, okay, I can attack this at least. Did you tell her? Did you tell her? He's like, I hate to sound condescending when I say this. No, I ain't tell her. I didn't have to. She caught me. Why you keep asking dumb questions? I got caught. I said that before. She caught me. Why did you tell her? I didn't have to tell her. She caught me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a man. He was. Honestly, we still didn't get the circumstances of what happened, actually, because she never gave him a chance to explain what happened. All she wanted to do was attack the situation, attack the fault within the man. We still don't know exactly what happened. There's no excuse for it. I think he knows that. It is what it is. But he never even got a chance to explain. He was on the defense as soon as he said it, and she went, "Oh my God, you're a cheater. Once a cheater, always a cheater." Now listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I can. What if you're dating a person that has a pattern of cheating in their past? Yes, you might can apply that statement to that person because they have shown you nowhere in their dating life how they try to change or don't go down that path or whatnot. But we're talking with a person who has admitted to say, yes, I cheated once, and that's been the only time I've ever cheated. All right, that tells me something's going on there. Something happened within that relationship that led him to step out. Don't know what. Does it really matter? Honestly, no. But it is kind of crazy to indict him. That happened way in the past, 7 years ago at that, and has nothing to do with you. And she immediately went to, oh, it's because I was cheated on so much. That's terrible. I get it. But now you're trying to bring your past trauma and put them on him. That's exactly what she tried to do. Because it's the only she has. Because when you look at it, they don't stack up. They don't stack up. I'm gonna go ahead and use the salacious term that I use with Elsie in our little private conversations. She's a female Dusty. Let's just say what it is. She's a female Dusty.
Well, she is unemployed.
Female Dusty. Live at home with your mom. And you looking at Freddie. Nah, Freddie is the come up of the century, and we all know it.
But we all know if the personality ain't adding up, there's no way we could sign up for 20 years, even if the person, looks like Freddie.
Now, listen, Elsie, Freddie ain't the problem in the situation. What it looks like is, just like Trey said, it looks like Freddie has presented himself a certain way. And she is pretty much looking at him like, okay, so where's your flaws? Physically, you're chiseled, you're handsome, you're tall, you come from a family business. So, you know what? I'm going to have to dig a little deeper. I'm going to have to find reasons to kind of lock you down and keep you on a certain level, right? I'm going to have to search for them. I'm going to nitpick you. I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to nag you. The moment you give me one piece of confirmation that you ain't perfect, that's what I'm going to use to hold over your head, right? His infidelity happened 7 years ago, right? That may have triggered her abandonment issues that she has from her adoption and foster care and all the other relationships that she's probably had. She's probably had a sense of that, right? Now, what she's done is she said, okay, now you're not perfect. Watch what I do now. So what she's gone and done is decided to not only hold it over his head, but now she's gone over to speak to Sam, who she said multiple times to Freddie, to his face, that Sam looks like her ex. She said that 5 times. So this is out of spite. She's gone over to Sam. Sam is a free agent now. There's no connection with Nicole anymore. He ain't got no business being there other than to ruffle feathers, right? And Catherine has made a play for him. Not only did she trash the ring that Freddie got her by saying that Sam's ring looks a lot better, that's the same ring that Nicole didn't want anymore. But all of a sudden, that's what you want over what Freddie's giving you? And Freddie's in the room while you're saying this. He's in earshot, like he's right behind you. And then she makes the most egregious thing. And I guarantee if Freddie had done this with any other lady, she would have flipped her lid. What she said is, to Sam, she said, you know, when you come down to London, we should meet up sometime. Yo, that's the precursor to you cheating then, isn't it? Because you said you weren't a cheat. You're engaged now to Freddie. So why on earth would you want to meet up with Sam? You don't know him. He's not your friend. You just met him in the pods. You were dating him in the pods. You've seen him physically now. Why do you want to get to know him further when you're already engaged to Freddie? So that's the real villainous act here. It's not what Freddie did 7 years ago. It's what Catherine is positioning herself to do now while she's engaged and come on the show.
Well, what I saw from Catherine, I did not like when I heard Freddie say he's got to scale back who he is. He keeps on saying he's got to scale it back. And I don't like that because it seems to me like you're draining the person's personality. Mm-hmm. You're draining them and they now got to reinvent themselves to keep you with them. It's kind of like, you know, lack of a better term, it's kind of like when you get a new pet, they're constantly doing something to find out what's best for you to love them. And that's what I see Freddie doing, to try and keep on doing stuff to make her, like him like she did before. Now, I will give Sam this props, and only because I watched the scene several times. Sam wasn't with it when Catherine came over there. Sam had his hands folded. He was on the other side of the table, and when she went to touch his shoulder, Sam pulled back.
Yep.
Sam was like, wait a minute, you belong to somebody around here, and I'm single. And he asked, do you have any single friends? I ain't checking for you. You engaged. Do you have any single friends? Yep. And she laughed, and then she kept on. Well, what's in the box? And then Sam realized, oh, you open to talk, and you willing to talk. And Sam kind of threw the hook out there and see how much line she was willing to take. And Sam was like, I live right down the road. That was the last thing Sam put the hook on, and like, I got to tell you my address, but let you know I'm right down the road.
Nasty work, man. It was nasty work.
But hey, Sam wasn't with it, but then he realized, oh, you want it. I'm going to give the people what they want.
Nah, he ain't going to do that.
I don't think so. I think his thing was Nicole, and his thing was getting at Benaya.
Right,
but
exactly.
the fact that Catherine was there, and Sam is kind of like, oh, extra airtime. That's my thing with Sam. You're willing to be here. You're engaged with somebody else. If I engage with you, then I get extra airtime. Even if I get a villain edit, I get extra airtime. So come on, sweetie, let's talk. Let's chat. Because if Sam was really with it, he would have come from around the table. But he was forward for the airtime. That's my opinion. That's just my opinion. But again, awareness. As you said, Struggle Streams, Freddie was right behind you. Steven was right behind you. They both heard exactly what you were saying. And to say you would rather that ring, you would rather that ring than the ring you got from your fiance. That to me, you just tossed the whole relationship aside.
Exactly.
What'd she call it? A knuckle scraper?
She said she had a knuckle duster. I don't know too many women. There's some out there, but I don't know too many women are going to say, oh, my ring is too big. This smaller one suits me better. You should give that to me. Huh? What?
There are a few of us, Trey. There are a few of us
I said not too many.
When we go in public, a larger ring attracts attention.
I get you.
There's
And
a
like
few
I said,
words.
I get
Attention
you.
is currency. Attention is currency these days.
I get it. That's why I say that I don't know too many. I know some. I do know some. But it ain't that really that many. It really ain't. So I'm like, and when you really look at it, the ring Catherine got from Freddie, honestly, to me, it wasn't that big. I'm like, what are you talking about? We're in big. You know, so I'm like, so to me, I was like, oh wow, she's really trying to run game right now. And it's kind of weak. Like it was like this is pathetic.
It was, I am willing to accept a gift from you and toss aside the gift from my gentleman.
A gift from another woman. A gift that was meant for another woman.
And also, since he looks like your ex and you said it 5 times, why would you want a cheating ex? Why would you want anyone who reminded you of a cheating ex? You said every ex cheated.
I've been cheated on.
Yeah. And that's who she gravitates to when she wants to go and make conversation, right? She gravitates to Sam. I didn't see her go to any of the other guys and have anywhere near the same type of conversation. So there's genuinely attraction there between her and Sam. On her side, I don't think Sam's attracted to her. Or if he is, he's definitely nowhere near as much as she is. She's willing to jeopardize it all for...
If you know...
Yeah, go ahead, Trey.
Oh, I was just going to say, if you notice, Sam, while Catherine was approaching trying to talk to him, Sam was actually looking behind her. And Freddie. That's why he was looking all like, okay, what's going on here? This is weird. All right. This is straight. All right, let's play along. This is what we do. Oh, you just gonna throw it up like that? All right. Okay. Yeah. I'll catch it now. I'll catch it. Well, hey, you know, like
you know. But this is what I'm saying to you. It's like if Freddie had moved to another girl in the same manner that Kat had moved to Sam, you know, she would have lost her. She would have been absolutely ballistic, right?
If Freddie would have moved on
now,
Charlotte.
What I would be interested to see is how Freddie brings this up, right? Because not only, as we said, did she say Sam looks like her ex and all the rest of the garbage that she said, but now that she's done this, does Freddie not say anything and let it slide? Or does he say to her, listen, I saw what you were doing with Sam the other day. Explain why you were talking to him about that. Explain why you dismissed the ring. Explain why you're doing that in front of my face. Like, why were you trying to get a reaction out of me? Or, like, explain yourself. What was the motive behind that? I don't think he's going to do it.
No, he's not that person.
He's not that person because he knows what she's done is, I think she's created an image of herself, a personality with him that she's very volatile. So he's going to tiptoe on eggshells around her so that she doesn't go off on him. Right?
And another example of that are her friends.
Exactly. Her friends are her echo chamber, it looks like.
One friend at least put in a couple kernels of, you know, think of it this way. What if it's, you know, it's family business? What, you know, I forgot her name. But the other friend was like, oh, heck no, the prenup, da-da-da. And I'm like, wait a minute. It doesn't sound like she and Freddie actually had the conversation as to why he wanted a prenup.
No.
And I'm sure, right. And I'm sure we can understand why, considering all of Freddie's entanglements, it's a family business. And he has the responsibility of his brother. Yes. And for the friend's sake, yes, you can adjust a prenup after the fact. You can actually have in the prenup changes after 5 years, 10 years, and so forth. Yeah, and how many kids. So
that's only if he wants to. Now, listen, if he's with Catherine, he definitely should have a prenup because she's volatile. She's not stable. She's already cutting him down and doing things to indicate red flag territory. So why would you make a permanent decision on your family inherited business on someone who's temperamental and volatile, that your marriage might last less than a year, less than 6 months. And what, she's now got half of your stuff that your family of your lineage have created? Nah, man. Like, no, definitely have a prenup. What you come into it, if she's unemployed, she needs to get a job. But, you know, you're not going to come into this and then be expecting half of what his family have been created over decades, possibly a century or so. That's materialistic. And unfortunately, I don't think Kat has shown enough stability, love and care, nurturing, all those different qualities for Sam to sign up to the marriage without having a prenup in place.
I mean, if she worked it right, it could have been perfect. She could have just slipped into the family business and it remained a family business with his spouse joining.
Yeah, but she's not the type of girl. She's a club girl.
Pretentious? You're saying pretentious like Ollie said?
Very much so.
Listen, Ollie, if you notice, Ollie pegged her right. Ollie pegged her right. He was dead on right about her. And don't forget, Freddie told her in the pod specifically, when we was talking about his brother, him having Down syndrome, he told her, I am responsible. If anything happens, I will be financially responsible for my brother. And anybody I need to get with, anybody that I'm choosing to marry, they need to be okay with that as well. Are you okay with that? So he was already setting up this conversation.
Yeah.
I think the only reason why is the prenup idea came into play, actual play, is because Freddie is peeping the type of woman Catherine is. And it ain't looking good.
Nope.
I still think he likes her. But like I said, this is just when you get to know a person, you checking them out, your tangibles ain't looking good the first we go down this rabbit hole. Like I'm seeing issues. I might need to. I think we can still work. There's something still workable here, but we need to put in some protections here and there. Let's talk about it. Now, granted, he does need to work on the way he's talking about it because he's so soft spoken. You can tell he's not a person. I think he can handle conflict. He just doesn't handle a certain type of conflict that Catherine likes to bring.
But his job isn't to handle conflict. His job is
not.
for him to be compassionate at all times.
Exactly.
So to turn that around to your significant other and then have to be like, hey, mean business, it's something else. It's screaming to me that Freddie is the compassionate one to help the families on the day of, and it's the sister who is about business. Sign here to pay the fee. It sounded more like the sister is business. And even though I did suggest that Catherine join the family business, it's still, you got to do that in layers, because if you coming in like a wrecking ball, you could really annihilate that family business. So my thing is that, yes, I agree with what you guys are saying. Catherine is showing herself to be what Ollie pegged her to be early on. And I think when she keeps on saying, oh, she was the better person in the whole Demi and Ollie thing, I think Catherine wants to be seen as the bigger person, but her actions are like, no, you actually way below the margin. And then when, even when Ollie apologized, huh?
You said Cat.
Yeah.
I was just going to say Catherine and Jasmine, when we get to her, two peas in the pod. They're undercover.
Right. They wish to be seen as better than they are. And it's like, I don't think you see yourself. And again, folks, if Catherine is watching this, Freddie and anyone from the cast, we are basing this off of the edited footage that Netflix has given us. But we also see some of your social media. And it's kind of saying Netflix ain't that far off. So don't go too far. But my thing is that I agree, Catherine, I think she does need some help in finding herself finding herself, and that would certainly help her not do all this crazy stuff. Because if this is how you're beginning this relationship and marriage, oh my golly. Like the brother said to Freddie, I want you to be in a good relationship. I don't think this is it. Remember, everybody who's been in the pods have dated everybody else. So we don't know the other interactions the men have had with Catherine, that they're making this assessment. But I do agree. The prenup stands, Freddie. You better make sure she signs that before you all walk down the aisle. I don't believe in postnumps, even though those are allowed. Now, just at a tangent, and Trey knows this from our talks, Love is Blind Mexico, when you apply for a marriage license in Mexico, the prenup is stated in it. It's already part of the registered marriage. Wow. So I'm just saying that looks to be something that maybe some of us in our other countries could utilize that, because it's very valuable if you know ahead of time, how things are being divided. Anything else you wish to say about the family visits, the friend visits? Did we see any friends of Freddie's? We only saw his family
doing the
mixer.
No, his tuxedo fitting.
Mm-hmm.
His friends.
Yeah.
No, but we got a friend visit. Like Demi got a friend visit.
Oh, like your friend coming visit? No.
Yeah. Okay.
No, it's family. It's just his family.
That probably was cut out, because I think all the people, we had some. What I'm hearing, we had some things cut out.
Lots.
Cut out. A lot of friends, family cut out. So yeah.
And speaking of lots cut out, because I believe there's a reason why a lot of this was cut out. I didn't see any family for Ollie.
None.
Nope.
So let's go to that. Be the next couple, Demi and Ollie. Talk to me about Demi and Ollie.
This hurts me because I actually like Demi. Ollie, I think Ollie likes Demi as well, personality-wise. Full off attraction-wise, I don't know if it's fully there. I think he's trying to work himself there. And
you mean love is going to grow?
He's hoping. It's one of those situations, but Demi is not an unattractive woman. She's actually very pretty. So it's really a simple of, I'm used to this, but she ain't that far off. I can get that, and I like her. I can work myself. Yeah, I can do this. I can work myself up to it. But he's having to work himself too much in his head. And then plus you got other cast members that keep butting their nose into the situation, trying to tell him and force him, like, no, you need to be doing this. It should look like this. You ain't doing it right. And it's throwing everything off in this. This is crazy. But it is a problem. It is somewhat of a problem, him having to work himself into liking Demi a little bit physically. That is a problem.
Well, he did say he loved to watch her leave when they were separated at the reveal.
Hey, I was watching her leave too. She got that donkey back there. I was looking. I was like, all right. No. I like that bumper. All right now.
Bump.
Hey, I was with him. I was like, hey, you go, bro. Find something. Them pretty eyes, that smile, and she turned around. Lord have mercy. Woo! Yes. Plenty of it. Juicy. Call her
okay, juicy. Calm down. That's somebody's fiance as of today.
Oh, as of today? Oh, okay.
Tomorrow we find out if she's somebody's wife. So let's calm it down. Let's calm it down. But she is an attractive, young lady. And, I have to say that I grew up kind of like Demi, one of the fellas, a lot. And I'm also like Ollie, the social butterfly. So you would, I didn't see the problem in Ollie's behavior at the mixer in Greece because that was me for a long time. I am working a room and my husband is like at one spot and I come back and check. And it's fine. It works for us. But I can see if you're new to a relationship that's separating and looking like you prefer the company of someone else or other people, it can seem a little dicey. What are your thoughts about Ollie and Demi, JR?
I can see your point about the social butterfly and the one that's more withdrawn. I can definitely see that. But Ollie isn't doing it in a malicious way where he's going to chat up the other girl. He's doing it to work the room because he feels like he's cool with everybody. But that's what's kind of done him in now, because Jasmine has targeted Ollie to project and rant about his relationship with Demi and give her opinion about it. And unfortunately, the friendship that Bobby and Ollie may have thought they had, now Ollie feels he has no friends in the group. So for someone who's trying to be social and make friends with everyone, to find out that, when stuff hits the fan, there's nobody there to defend you, yeah, that's hurt Ollie a lot. As for his connection with Demi, I definitely think he likes her. I definitely think he thinks she's fine. Nice. But she's just not the typical girl that he meets. With Catherine is more like the typical girl he meets. They hung out at the same nightclub because that's the type of people that go to those clubs. It's a very pretentious and superficial environment. So someone like him, brown skin, tall, beard, cool personality, he's going to attract attention in those environments, in those nightclubs. And he's going to see the Catherine, this pretentious, superficial, blonde, think they're the it girl when they ain't even got a job or anything like that. They're trying to come up. So that's where they're going to meet in real life. Whereas Demi is much more, she's similar to Freddie. She does her work. She comes home. She's very kind of introvert, but also a tomboy into things that most girls in her circle might not necessarily be into. So I think there's an attraction there for sure, both ways. You may say Demi likes Ollie more. That might be true. But to say that he doesn't like her, or the stuff that Jasmine's coming out with, that's crazy. I think Ollie just feels like he's being kind of ganged up on, and he doesn't know whether Demi is going back leaking information or telling people stuff about him, and then they're coming and confronting him with it. So again, for a social butterfly, someone who thinks he's making friends with everyone, and to feel like maybe people are talking about him behind his back, that's going to have him feeling a certain way. But the connection is genuine. They're just not people that would meet in real life.
Right. I do agree with you. I think it is a genuine connection. I think it is your eyes and your mind connecting, with what you heard. Mm-hmm. Meaning the whole Love is Blind is like, okay, I do like the Demi from the pods. Now I have to reconcile. This is what Demi looks like. Yes, he does like what Demi looks like. But again, it is not, as you say, his usual type. Mm-hmm. It is not who he would have been with. And he was very respectful, even though it was a little long-winded, talking to Catherine on the side and laughing or whatever. But in the vein of Jasmine, stay out their business, everybody's trying to navigate a new relationship. Everybody's learning their mate, and you have to see them in different settings. And in this setting, Demi and Ollie got to figure it out themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand the whole, friends, whatever. I'm not sure if me living in a roommate situation for 10 days means you're my friend. We friendly, but I don't know if Bobby and Ollie really friends unless they've been friends before this. You my boy, you my pod bro, but I'm not sure you my friend. And then Bobby also is navigating his relationship. And if he checked Jasmine, how's that going to affect his relationship? Everybody is on a square and trying to move accordingly. And that's the hard part. That's why it's best to stick within your relationship and let people handle their own. Jasmine could say, Demi, you ain't looking like yourself. Get it together. She was right, but she should have pushed Demi to tell Ollie, hey, you should talk to me first before you talk to Bobby. But I will say something against what you said. Ollie ran from Demi when he said, yo, Bobby. He ran from her that one time.
Yeah, no, I do get that. I think, listen, if we're going to say that Jasmine and Demi are friends, and Jasmine's just looking out for her girl, and Jasmine, then listen, Bobby and Ollie have been in the pods the same amount of time. The guys and the girls have known each other the exact same amount of time. So if it's okay for Jasmine to give her opinion and jump in to another relationship and give her perspective, then you can almost see it as, okay, well, you would expect that Bobby and Ollie having a shared experience in the pod and dating these ladies, like these guys have a sense of camaraderie as well to the same level. So
I understand. I don't agree with it either. Just like Demi, I did not agree with her. When Ollie's like, you barely know the girl, and Demi's like, you wait, don't say that. That's my friend. No, that's not your friend. That's your 10-day pal from the pod.
Exactly.
I did not agree with Demi sticking up for Jasmine, sounding like, she going against what Ollie is saying. Because it further made Ollie feel isolated. Like
right.
no one is here for him.
Exactly.
I'm sorry. You will go.
Yeah. Now I was just gonna say, like, I echo those sentiments. The thing is, Ollie and Demi need to figure out their relationship, and I definitely don't think Bobby wants to be trying to check Jasmine or put out the fires that she's trying to start with other people's relationships. I know we're gonna come on to Bobby and Jasmine next. So I won't say too much because I do have some things to say about Miss Jasmine, and her mom as well. But I will say that, and I've said this on every show that I've ever reviewed. The more you focus on other people's relationship, the less you're focusing on your own, which leads to a lesser chance of success. You're not in a position to be looking over at what they're doing, and I'm gonna go stir up this, and I'm gonna go stoke the flames here, and this, that, the other. No, you focus on your connection with Bobby because there's things that you need to iron out as well. You're not set in stone yet. Like he works abroad and does his thing and all the rest of it. Let Demi and Ollie connect or not connect by themselves. They don't need any outside interference. And if you quiet down all the outside noise, they seem like they're hugged up, they're booed up, they laugh and joke, and they understand each other. So there isn't really a cause for concern in that regard. He may not be as enamored with her as Jasmine or some viewers may want him to be, but he's trying to figure out this process just like Demi is. This is the first time they're laying eyes on each other and going out on this villa, staying together and all this stuff. The way they met is unconventional. So it's completely different to how normal dating goes. So you have to allow time for them to figure it out their own way.
Go ahead, Trey.
Two quick things. I'm glad you brought this up here because it was bothering me. But the thing, okay, first off, the thing with Ali talking to Bobby, I agree with everyone here. When it happened, I went, no, bro, that's a mistake. You should have talked to Demi first. I knew it was a mistake. But I think one thing we're missing out of here was the context of the conversation that he had with Bobby, what they was actually talking about. That was the reason why he went to Bobby first. He specifically told Bobby, hey, okay, I went to talk to Catherine, try to eat things out, whatever, it's cool. He brought up the fact of them, how the whole breakup situation happened, which was stupid. Because he was going to break up with her too. She just beat him to the punch. Whatever.
Exactly.
But what specifically he said to Bobby, hey man, I don't know if I'm tripping, but it seemed to me that Catherine was like on your boy. Like just kind of looking at me, am I tripping? And Bobby said, nah, I saw it too.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for that. That's just boys coming with, hey bro, am I tripping? Is she kind of checking me? Because we in this situation here, like I'm dating her, she dating him. Like he's like, nah, I saw it too. Watch how you move. That's what that was for.
Yeah.
So given the context of it, I can understand. Nah, you might not want to go talk to Demi about that off real,
yeah.
Especially in this context, because going off of what Elle brought up and which was bothering me. Hey, listen, let's have a real conversation. And I know this women. I'm sorry to say it. I know this women do this a lot. It happens. Listen. These shits are not your friend.
Mm-hmm.
You only met them 10 days ago. She is not your friend. Don't get me wrong. Y'all become fast acquaintances. Y'all can become quicker friends. But friendship is built over a period of time. Keyword time. Y'all have no time in. Because I'm going to be honest with you. Because since we're going into Jasmine. If she was your real friend would not ever have said, you do know Demi is insecure. She's an insecure woman.
That's true.
While Demi has been on this platform trying to say she is not an insecure woman, but she has felt some insecurities pop up in this process. So she's been having to see what that looks like with her and why is that? What friend that you could call is going to go to your guy you just started to talk to and go tell him, listen, she's an insecure woman. Do you understand how that comes off to certain men when we hear that? She's insecure. Whoa. Insecure about what, number one? And number two, how are those insecurities going
to affect me?
How are they going to affect me and us? Because they are. That screams nothing but red flags when we hear that.
Yep.
So it's like, I was sitting there like, yo, this chick is not your friend. And Ali said it. You don't know this chick. She's not your friend. Oh, no, she is. And you saw him, he had that look like, oh my God, it's one of those situations. And I'm sorry, I see a lot of these shows do it. And I see a lot of women do it in real life. You just met this chick. I'm not saying that y'all can't be friends. Y'all become fast friends. That's possible. It happens. But she's not your friend. Okay? She's just not. Like, if you notice, her coming to the defense of Demi, when it got into it, it looked like it wasn't a defense for Demi. It was her issues that she had with Ali.
Projection.
Full on. Just straight projection. And if you notice some of her issues, some of her projections were issues that she has within herself. We'll be getting to her and her relationship with Bobby, her mom. Like, woo, it was so telling. Now you go back to how she dealt with Ali. Because she was coming at him. That was an attack. That wasn't a talking to. Hey, I feel, I'm worried about my friend. And so I just wanted to see where you was at. Like, how you handle this. And just let you know, you probably should. I understand you want to go talk to Bobby, but you probably should have went and talked to Demi first because she was feeling the type of way. That's all you had to say. That's all you had to say. But no, she was attacking him. Do you like her? Yes, I like her. I don't know. Do you like her? Yes, I like her. No, are you attracted to her? Yeah. Do you like her? How many times you gonna ask the same question? Because I'm giving you the same answer.
Mm-hmm.
And then Bobby, to what y'all said earlier, I get it. He's in a funny predicament because he's with this girl. He's like, if you saw the look on Bobby's face, he has a great poker face, but you could tell it was bothering him too, because he's just like, all right, baby, you need to relax.
He couldn't sit still. He couldn't sit still.
Yeah, he was just like, this is getting on. All right, do I? Because Ollie was getting like, hey, woo, hey, woo. He was like, all right, do I jump in this now? Check him? Oh, wait, oh no, do I check her? Am I allowed to check her? Are we got enough time in for me to check her like that? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. If I don't check her, what type of man am I? Because I'm clearly seeing a problem here. Like, it's a bad.
And don't forget, Jasmine is a mental health nurse.
That bothered me so much.
She should have been able to read off of Ollie's body language that he was feeling uncomfortable. And
But
go ahead.
I was gonna say, listen, just because she has the qualification doesn't mean she's that aware of other people's issues when they're having them. I think, and again, we are going to get into her, but I think she's in that because of the relationship with her mom.
Agreed.
So it's not really as an empathetic person where she's able to spot things that are happening with people on like first visuals. I think it's something she did to cope with the traumas that she experienced growing up with her mother that does too much.
So before we pivot there, every time I heard Jasmine question Ollie about whether he really liked Demi or not,
Mm-hmm.
I saw it as this is how Jasmine saw Demi.
Mm-hmm.
She saw Demi as not being the typical woman or a woman that would be with Ollie. It wasn't a judgment on Demi. It was Jasmine's, lens in which she's looking at it. And I'm like, Jasmine, let it go. If the man wants to prove good or bad, give him the opportunity to prove it. Leave him alone. So we're going to segue this to Jasmine and Bobby. And Bobby blinked twice. Okay? Bobby, I do not feel bad if you want to head on the first cruise ship that you hear the horn out of the port of England and go back to Mexico. I am not mad at you.
Get out
I don't
now.
know where the docks, JR. I don't know where they are, but Bobby, take that ship, go back to your old job, and run. You are a good sport. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm not putting a charcoal mask on my husband. I'm sorry. We're not going to be looking at each other with matching faces.
Crazy.
That screams to me play dates with the girls. I'm sorry.
Especially
the girls. GWORLS, the girls. Yeah.
Now I'm more talking about sleepovers. As kids, you do sleepovers, you do your nails or whatever. But that's a great bonding. If y'all want to bond that way, be at it. But Jasmine, you got to know when to sit down. Gotta know when to sit down.
You know what? Like when we did the super panel last week with Coach, and he was saying how Jasmine called Bobby cute, and he's making it. He was basically saying that cute is a statement you don't want to hear, right? This is what he was talking about, because now she's like, okay, well, we can, you can wear my face mask and we can do that together, and the cucumber on the eyelids, and we can just sit back. And so I think what Coach was trying to say is the way that she views him and his boyish features, big ears, he's got like a youthful appearance. It's like she doesn't quite see him as a man yet, right? And then I also think that Bobby seems to be quite malleable, meaning if it's going to make her happy, then he'll do it, right? There's nothing wrong with that, but there has to be a line where, you know, because you've done this early. So what's going to be next? She might want to make you do your nails. She might, can I try this color on you? You know, listen, I was going to try on this dress, but if you try it on her, then I can see how you look in it and I can picture myself. Like, you know, she'll push it. She'll, like, if you give someone an inch, they'll take a yard. So Bobby, I think, as well as needing to put his foot down and say, okay, listen, you're going too far. You're trying to strip me of my manhood now. You're trying to make me look like an idiot now. I think he also needs to say, listen, stop interfering. I don't want to have to be putting out fires because you want to run your mouth on people or start stuff. And finally, I'll also say this. I think Bobby is going to need to be hella supportive if he's going to make this relationship work with Jasmine. Because after meeting her mum and seeing how she behaves as well when she's pressed, it is going to be a lifetime of ups and downs and eruptions of and outbursts. And I don't think Bobby wants that. He may have the heart to care about her, to want to go through it, but I think ultimately she's going to need to work on those issues that she's had before coming into the relationship, because they will continue to erupt and present themselves as their relationship continues. So she needs to do some serious work.
So
just like Kat, but in a different way. Her mother is very negative, very controlling, very possessive. And it was hard to watch. And the thing is, I've seen similar, like in that culture especially, I know that there are some hard women, right? Hard men as well, but just to see the level of brokenness that mum was projecting onto Jasmine and wants to keep her close as well. No, you're not going nowhere. You're staying here. You're my best friend. I've been projecting all of this into you for your whole life. You're an adult. You're not going to go and do your own thing. You're going to stay here with me. I'm going to be a part of your marriage and your relationship going forward. You're not going to get rid of me. I'm still going to be your best friend. I want to know everything this guy does to you. Yo, that's crazy. That is absolutely insane. And I felt like Bobby handled it very well considering what he was up against. But
what could he do? What could he do? He got to sit there and take it. He can't say much. This is her mother. He already got dressed down. Let's start from the beginning. He got dressed down and taken to the principal office. That is Jasmine's office. What is this on YouTube? And what were you doing? So he already got dressed down and Jasmine's on like a hairpin. Now Mama comes off, fresh off the plane. Mama's coming directly from the Philippines, we learned.
Yep.
Straight into this dinner. And she doesn't know who this young man is.
Nope.
Bobby is in a position where, again, if he puts Jasmine's mother, even not in her place at all, we trying to be respectful, even if he says, ma'am, that's not the marriage we wish to have, he's in a tight spot like he was when Jasmine was coming after Ali. He can't do much. He can't say anything. And for me, again, my opinion, it's your relative. You got to check him. This is your mama. You got to respectfully check your mama and let her know what the terms are. Because right now it's a no for me at the altar if I got to marry you and your mama.
Yeah,
because your mama is coming in here real hot cold saying, I am your best friend. I am your only friend, blah, blah, blah. I have seen this. I've had friends like this. And it's not just that, it's control, and it's a form of control to avoid family embarrassment as well. They have got real tight reins on their children. You can't have any friends, can't go anywhere that I don't know, and I will show up unannounced. Now, Bobby has to handle it. He got to go clean up the dishes and let her talk to her mother. That's all he can do. But now I understand why we didn't see Bobby's friends or family, because this was a whole appetizer, entree, and dessert.
Mhm.
Go ahead, Trey. I'm sorry.
I agree with you, Al, up to a certain point. Is Bobby in a tight spot? Yes, I can see the tight spot he's in is real. Problem is, you just speaking as a man, you at some point in time you have to set boundaries for your own self-respect, or you will get rolled over by anyone that come across you. Anyone.
Mhm.
I all right. What person is? We all know I used to be married before. I've not quite the same, but been in the same situation that Bobby is in with her stepmother. The only difference is my ex-wife actually pushed back against her mom. Like even though her mom tried to get controlling on her, she actually pushed back. Like, no, I'm a grown woman. No. So that's the only big difference is, with lucky for me, Bobby don't have that. So he in real trouble.
Mhm.
She did step up a little bit, just a little bit, just a
She
little
She
bit.
did. Yeah.
tried and failed.
Mm.
She tried and failed. I'm gonna say it one more time. She tried and failed spectacularly because she turned into a little girl as soon as her mom started speaking and spoke up.
Yeah.
Your mother called your fiance an idiot
Mhm.
to his face
Yep.
and degraded him further by saying it's harder to have a conversation with someone with limited education status.
Mhm.
In that scene, when Bobby heard it, his immediate reaction was the correct one. He looked to his left. You want to let your mama say that? Her response?
Yep.
She did say, "Mom, not everybody has a university education nowadays and are successful."
That was afterwards, and that don't make it better.
Nope.
That didn't make it better.
Mm-mm.
Not at all. Because you still somewhat degrading me. Like I'm
Mhm.
stupid. Like I'm incomprehensible. Like what? No. That was him meeting her mom. Did so much damage
Mm.
to Jasmine's standing in his eyes. And you know what the real funny thing is? Jasmine knew it because she tried to prep him before her mom even came. She knew what was going to happen. My
Yep.
mama's about to F this up for me.
Mhm.
And it's
Because
so
she's done it in
sad.
the past. Because she's
Yes,
done it every other time.
absolutely.
And she done it to
Which,
herself.
yes, which is the real reason why she's on this show. This has happened
Mhm.
before.
Yep.
This happened before.
Yep.
This was nasty work.
Mhm.
The phrase "it be your own people," yo, that was wild. And the sad part is, I'm a try and give her mom some grace with this statement. I could understand her fears of what she went through, and she doesn't want her daughter to go through the same thing. The problem is she's doing so much overcorrection that she is sabotaging her own daughter, but she can't see it.
Wow.
She can't see it. It's impossible for her to see because she
Listen.
thinks she's helping her. You're gonna have such high standards. Your boundaries are gonna be this. You know what? You don't have to set them. I'm gonna set them for you.
Mm.
Could you imagine kids in this situation?
Boy.
Could you
Listen.
imagine the kids going to grandma's for the summer in the Philippines?
Listen. You gotta keep kids away from grandma.
Nah,
Right.
can't
Especially
happen.
if they look like Bobby. Keep the kids away from grandma. Yeah.
Can't
Because
happen.
they'll come back with bruises and stories to tell that won't be pleasant. And I think you're right, Trey. Listen, Sometimes it does be your own people, and I differ in this. I think the mom knows exactly what she's doing. She's trying to keep her daughter single, and
People to herself.
yeah, because she's had two failed marriages herself, and the shame and the pain and the hurt that she went through, she wants to avoid Jasmine going through that, but she doesn't realize that she's going to inflict that on Jasmine if she interferes in her relationships. If Jasmine really likes someone, like Bobby, for example, they take it to the altar, they get married, it's going to be the mum interfering more than likely. That's going to cause a lot of tension in their marriage and could potentially lead to them separating. Because when Jasmine does try to address her mum or counter what her mum's saying, Trey's right. She shrinks back down to a little girl again. That feisty Jasmine that we see going at Ollie, maybe it's a respect thing with her mom, right? But at the same time, you need to be adamant, you need to be steadfast and strong and say, listen, mom, this is my relationship. You had two opportunities, you didn't work, cool. I'm having my turn now, and it may not turn out like that. You have to give me the time and the chance to have my own relationship. It may not be in a conventional way, but this is the person that I chose, and he chose her. Right? That's it. If mom doesn't know how to deal with that, you've got to keep mom at arm's length. You have to keep her away from your relationship because mom seems like she's looking for any reason at all to disrespect Bobby. And when that happens, Bobby can't stand up for himself because if he says something, Jasmine's going to defend her mom. If he says something to the mom's going to want to kick off on him because she feels already that he's of a lower intellectual quartile or whatever they call it. Right?
And that is exactly what he cannot come back from. Mama will never let him rest on the fact that he does not have a university education. No matter, he can support the family and mama. He can be supporting everything financially, doing what he's supposed to do, but mama will hold that as an anvil over his head.
Yeah,
like you are still uneducated.
And if any of her, stupido.
Exactly. And if any of her grandkids don't go to university, it's your daddy's fault. Again, it is something that will carry on. And you know what? I on a tangent with that, I expected this from an American family earlier than this on Love is Blind. I expected this. And for it to pop up in the UK, I was floored. I expected it, but I expected it on the US side more so than it be that glaring and showing up on the UK side.
It still would have to be a foreign family for you to see it in even the US side.
Oh yes, definitely a foreign family. You know, I'm from an immigrant family. I understand the whole education push. I understand the whole hovering over your kids because you don't want them to lose the culture too much. You don't want them to fall with the, children that, are of no good standing and could dissuade them from the right path. I totally see that. But I expected that to pop up. We've had immigrant families on the US side. I expected that to pop up on the US.
I will say this. I got to say this. I don't agree that Bobby shouldn't have said anything. He should have. Not really from the mom standpoint, because whether she like you, don't like you, it ain't too much you can do with that. She already made her decision about you. Only reason why I said Bobby should have stood up and spoken up for himself more. You're going to be married to Jasmine. That's what's more important. How do you stand up as a man in front of her?
And Jasmine is going to become that type of mother to your children.
And that's the other thing you got to watch out to as well. That's just the other side of it. But thing number one, we got to have respect with each other. You already been showing signs that you might not really respect me as a man. I'm just one of your, it's kind of like the girls, GURLS. I'm one of the girls to you. You already kind of treat me like that. Nah, we can't have that. Nah.
Yeah. I'm your man, not your girl.
I'm your man, okay?
Not your girl.
I'm your man. You did the Martin show. I'm your man. Your man. Your man. Yes, I'm your man. So even if me and your mom get into it, and you can get into it with her respectfully, even if she disrespect you, nah, I'm gonna stand up for myself, man. I'm
Yeah.
proud of who I am, and who I am has got me to this far, and
Yeah.
it's got me to know your daughter.
Hmm.
So whatever happened between me and her is going to be our relationship, not you. You can fuss, you can bluster all you want to, ma'am. But I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. Now, she ain't gonna like me, that's fine. Now I gotta deal with you. Now I just showed you what I am and what I'm not gonna put up with. Now we got to decide whether or not
We're gonna
we're gonna
progress. We're
rock.
gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Mama heard you. You know, you left your job on the cruise ship.
Hmm.
Now you're going into sales, and you're making music videos.
I
All in the
feel you.
video.
I feel you. Bobby has some security issues. I saw it. Definitely. But that's something for Jasmine has to go through. She's gonna have to decide whether or not she wants to deal with that. It
Yep.
And
sounds
she
like
Mama.
cannot, and she cannot escape and go live elsewhere with Bobby because Mama heard that, and Mama looked at her when she said, "Yeah, we could go live somewhere else." Mama was not feeling it, and Mama will
No.
put a wrench in those plans. But I think again because Mama is your best friend, and I
Hmm.
said that the first time we did the live with Kojo on his channel, Little
Hmm.
Black Book 91. I want to know anytime somebody says my parent is my best friend, alarm bells ring off in my head.
yeah, that's a problem.
And I'm sorry, I'm proven correct, but I'm thinking Jasmine also ran to Mama about the music video,
Of course.
Problem.
Of course.
and Mama
And
came in.
again, the music video was years ago, right? So your insecurities are similar to cats. Yo, these people had lives before they met you, and they may not have done what you would have done. Listen, the dude made a music video. Music videos are acting. You stand there for 7, 8, 9 hours of filming, reshooting the same scenes and miming to music. That's what it is, right? So for her to get insecure about that, again, it just shows elements of her personality that are off-putting. I would say this. I agree, Trey. Bobby does need to cement. He needs to put his foot down and say, listen, this is who I am, right? I'm a man in this relationship. You're my wife to be. You need to act like you're my wife to be. I'm gonna be the man for you. We need to try and make this work.
Mm-hmm.
We cannot have outside influences, especially those who are as hostile and temperamental as your mom.
Mm-hmm.
And he needs to bear in mind that the apple never falls too far from the tree. So when Jasmine gets upset about something, you can definitely bet she's gonna be packing a punch with her temper too, right? And he's gonna be tiptoeing on eggshells. He might have to sleep in the doghouse. He's gonna have to go through a whole range of different punishments and things when she gets ticked off. So I think he needs to think very carefully about what he's seeing from Jasmine before he says yes. Don't just base it on the pods. Now you can base it on your physical interactions, her temperament, her mood, the fact that she's gone digging up Ollie and Demi's relationship and trying to sever ties between you and Ollie pretty much. Like, look at these things before you put a ring on that finger because Jasmine is going to be a very volatile person. The moment she gets in her feelings about something, she's going to be more than outspoken. She's going to be volcanic. And someone like Bobby, who doesn't seem, he seems like a very melancholy, a very chill dude. I don't think he's got the appetite to rise up to where Jasmine's going to get to. So he's probably going to be steamrolled over, and that's not a position to be in long term.
And you can't think that since Mama living in the Philippines, she's far. She's not. She's on the phone.
No, she's on the phone. She's on the internet.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Trey.
I'm gonna be fair about this. Bobby's F-boy side is about to come out. Let me show you. Let me tell you what it's about to do. To JR's point, yeah, he's not the type to really speak up. Like this situation that just happened. This should have been an immediate conversation afterwards.
Yep.
On camera or not, I guarantee you probably won't have it like that. He's gonna play it off. What's going to happen is they're going to make it all the way down to the wedding day. He's going to stand up in her face and tell her no, and then tell her why, and it's going to come off very flippant, and it's going to come off a tad bit disrespectful. When he could have had this conversation beforehand, which he should have when it happened. This is a little F-boy side about to come out. He's going to play this out to the end. I'm cool. Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah. I'm cool. Drop the bomb on your face right then and there. And Ollie's the same way too. Let me just say that. Ollie's the same way too. The same way.
But Ollie got some tells. We got a little bit of tells.
And let's be fair, Ollie and Demi have not had the explosive bust up.
Not even close.
Not even close. They're very much cool and chilling. They're the cool couple. I still hope Ollie and Demi make it. But as for Bobby and Jasmine, I think that Bobby needs to be very cautious about this, because spending the rest of your life with someone who you're going to be walking on eggshells around, like I said, she's going to be punishing this guy, man, for little or nothing. You know, if she's mad about a music video you did years ago, listen, while he's away on the cruise ship, you know how many women are going to be there? Co-workers are going to be there, and he's going to be away from her.
He can't do that job anymore. Can't.
Exactly. But the thing is, it's not just whether he does that job. Any job he goes into, you're going to have female work colleagues. You're going to have female customers. And if she's that insecure, then, you know, you're really hurting your chances of making a career change, no matter what it is.
I'm going to throw something out there. I want to see if y'all peek this. I may be tripping, but I'm going to see if y'all peek this. When Jasmine made the comment to Coach Point last week, when she called him cute, I honestly think she was downplaying a little bit, because notice a few things. First off, Jasmine is definitely used to dating black men. I think that's mainly her preference, and has been. When she describes Bobby, she describes him more in the lines, he's a pretty boy.
He's clean cut, she says.
Clean cut, pretty boy. He's a clean cut, pretty boy. Even as pretty as she is, I think this may be the prettiest man she's ever dated.
Wait a minute.
Yep.
I think Bobby is the prettiest. I mean, why I say this, Bobby is the prettiest man that she's dated. Because I'm sorry, this little jealousy streak she's starting to show already is a bit too premature just to be popping up out of nowhere.
But I would expect that from a woman who has dated very good-looking men who have, eyes have wandered.
She's dated good-looking men. Don't get me wrong. But think about it. It is clear to me that she's been the prettiest person out of the relationship. And she's dating certain type of men. Kind of maybe thuggish, maybe
she said tattoos. She said full of tattoos
and stuff. Yes. She's dating certain type of men. Read between the lines here. Bobby is clean cut, cute. She is the prettiest man that she's dated. And she's beginning to see it because other women notice Bobby too. Bobby's a good looking guy. Other women has noticed Bobby. That video, it shouldn't have been a thing, but why she was so upset about it? For what?
Because I got to do a deep dive into your social media. I got to know all about you.
That's fine. But why are you making a big deal out of something that happened years ago? It's a music video.
Because at your grown age a couple of years ago, you shouldn't be making music videos.
Why not? He's what? I'm not fine enough to be a music video model? What you trying to tell me? No, it's talking to her insecurities in here. She know this man is fine. She know other women is going to be looking at him. It is what it is. And them insecurities popping up. Pop. It's the same thing with Demi, actually. Demi, yes. I believe her when she said she's a very secure woman. But the moment she got with Ollie, what did she say? Wow, I never really dated someone like Ollie before. Usually they don't even look at me.
Right.
Ollie is the prettiest man she's ever dated. So she ain't trying to let this go.
Same with Freddie and Kat.
Yes.
Yes, same thing.
So you're trying to say, Trey, that there are the pretty gentlemen of the UK?
I've heard this said before. Someone has said that, wow, this UK cast is crazy because everybody is pretty much attractive, men and women. And it's true. The crazy thing is, you don't, it is always an interesting thing. And I've seen this as a case study in my own head. It's always an interesting thing when you come across, even if she's pretty or not pretty, doesn't matter. When you see a woman and she obviously has gotten a very pretty man and everybody knows it, they act
Yes.
different.
Yes.
They do act different.
Yes,
They
they
act
do.
outside of themselves. And we're seeing it on
Now,
TV now.
now, speaking about the opposite in my mind, let's go to the next couple. Okay,
Yeah.
next couple, Tom and Maria. Because I got him way out of his league, but there are some cultural issues here. Now, Tom, I said we're going to talk about his deep pockets and short arms. Talking about, hey,
What does that mean?
what does that mean?
It means he ain't trying to spend no money.
There you go.
Oh, I got you.
You can't reach the money to take it out of the pocket.
Stingy.
Well, that's how the rich stay rich. You do understand. That's how the rich stay rich, right?
I understand that.
They don't spend their money; they spend other people's money.
And something I wish to talk about culturally, what people are discussing with Maria. When she said her mother will flip, seeing her pay while Tom is there, we have to, even though Maria's a rebel, we have to realize she's saying she's coming from a Muslim culture. She's coming from a Muslim culture where in some, depending on how strict you are, a woman does not handle money at all. And if she does, it is certainly not when her husband is present. So that's how I took it when she said her mother would flip, because even if Maria had the money, the transaction should happen on the aspect from her husband or from her, significant other. Now, I need Maria to figure out, are you a rebel or are you going to fully be immersed into your culture? Because I'm playing double dutch. I'm jumping in when it's about paying, but I'm jumping out when I want to, stay home and do my own thing and be a makeup artist. I need her to make up her mind and determine what she's going to do. Now, her wonderful family, I really enjoyed that family visit. Her mother is a sweetheart, reminded me of my great-grandmother back in the day. And, I need her brother-in-law, Warren, to tell Tom how to fit into this family, because Warren seems to have fit in. And one thing apart from the couple that I did like is I did like that they, even though they asked the niece to say hello to Tom, they did not push her to give Tom a hug. I'm a proponent. Don't force children to give hugs or be in physical proximity with people. And Tom handled it wonderfully. Give me a high five. We cool, you cool, we cool. Tom, you knew she was a makeup artist when you talked to her in the pods. If this was a problem, you should have said so. And at the mixer, one thing I saw at Tom is like, dang, it's not going to be that hard to immerse with Natasha. I don't have all the hoops to jump through with Natasha. And I thought I saw in my head his wheels turning. It'll be easier and flow way quicker with Natasha. I can't touch you. I can't do this. I can't do that. I have to do this. It ain't got a list of do's and don'ts as long with Natasha. Now, what are y'all thoughts about Tom? Because Tom at the mixer said, oh, this is effing insane.
Listen. Okay, Maria, I'm starting with Maria first because Tom is an a-hole, but I understand why he's an a-hole. He's kind of easy. He's very easy. Maria, though. Maria is turning into the epitome of confusement. Like, listen, like Elle just said, she talks like she wants to be an independent woman. Hear me, war. Cool. But You want the benefits of a Muslim lifestyle. I'm sorry, baby girl, but those two do conflate. They just do. I'm not making it up. This is just real life. You look at the doctrine, you look at that culture, it conflates with who you're trying to be into the rest of the world. And since they're conflating, I can see the conflictment in you, and now you're coming off very confusing to Tom. Because let's keep it honest, she wasn't this conflating in the pods. This started afterwards. So if you're looking from Tom's standpoint, yeah, I think the main reason why he went for Maria, I think he liked her a little more, yes. And also in the pods, she made it easier. In the pods. Outside now, it's not as easy as it was looking. Because that whole payment thing, I do actually understand where she was coming from, but I had a huge issue with it, and I kind of sided with where Tom was coming from. We were just out to eat ice cream. Wasn't a big deal, wasn't no huge meal or nothing, it's just ice cream. He go to reach for his wallet to go pay for the ice cream. She said, "Oh no, baby, I got it." Oh, okay, cool. Just ice cream. Wasn't even thinking about it. Days later, it wasn't immediate. It was days later she brought it up saying that she had an issue with it. All right. Now, I know we hate using this word. It was like the trigger word all last year. But now you're starting to touch on the borders of combativeness. What's going on here? Why are you making this small thing such a big deal? And to be honest, Tom doesn't come across a man who's just not going to pay for nothing. He's going to take care of everything anyway. His issue is he wants a woman that's just as ambitious as he is, so they could come together and build an empire. He actually wants to be a colonizer and go take over some stuff. That's Tom. He literally wants to do that, but he wants a literal queen by his side to do it with. He actually is looking for someone to match him. So the whole thing with her being a makeup artist, I do agree with you, L. Like, if you had an issue with that, you probably should have spoke up. Like back in the pods, like if you really had an issue with that, yeah, he should have said something way back in the pods if you really had an issue with that. I'm trying to remember after she said she was a makeup artist. I think he's right. He did judge her a little bit, and I remember I saw the look in his eyes like, makeup artist, okay. And I do think he's right. Everyone judges a little bit, especially off first meet. It's just what we do. But I don't think he held it against her. She took it as he was holding it against her, even up until that point. He was like, no, I just, in the beginning, okay, because he had a certain perception about makeup artists, not the job itself, but the way those makeup artists carry themselves, catty, talk a lot, gossip all the time, always in some mess, some drama. That was his issue with makeup artists. From what I guess he encountered a few. That's where you're like, okay, it seemed to be this way. But I guess she proved herself not to be, and up until now she's looking a little bit different. In walks the other chick. What's her name, Natasha? Yeah, she's looking like the better option all of a sudden. It's looking to be a lot more easier than I thought she was.
What he should hold against her is the fact that you're a makeup artist and I'm wearing all of your lipstick after the first encounter. That we should talk. That he should hold against her. Now, I don't mind if it's a regular person, but as a makeup artist, I'm expecting you to be on that 24-hour, can't wash off unless you scrub it off lipstick.
Now, you know what's funny, L? You know what's funny? If I was just being a typical man, I'd be like, I don't understand what this is. Yeah, I would have got upset. Damn, you got all smudged over. That's crazy. But I wouldn't have understood what the big issue with that, because I hear a lot of women talk about that, right? That fact. Not until you're with a woman that's into makeup and stuff like that. Now I'm starting to see I'm like, yeah, that's kind of crazy. Like you supposed to be like the way you talk about it, you're the bomb makeup artist. Even when she said, I remember when she said, "I'm going to wear red lipstick." My first mind went to why. That's my first thought. Why? You don't need to do that.
To
I,
Because
I
it
mark her
thought
matched the
territory.
dress. Matched
I
the
thought
dress too.
To
I
mark
thought
her
well, okay,
territory. That's why.
that, and then she said, "I'm a master dress." I said, "Okay, okay, cool, cool, cool." Then when she was in there, she put the lip gloss on top of the lipstick. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm with a girl that's kind of into makeup. Even I know, nah, that's that's not gonna work. That's gonna smear, ain't it? That's my mind. That's gonna smear, right? No, that's and it's
Mark
showing
her
up.
territory. That listen. It must have been intentional because if she's a makeup artist, she's knowledgeable about these things. She must have clients that come to her and say, I want my lipstick to stay on a certain amount of time. What's the best one to use? So she has product knowledge. So that was intentional for whatever reason. I don't know. But with this couple, I think you're right. Tom sees Natasha and sees no cultural difference. This is someone that he could pick up at a bar, go to the park with, go to a museum, do go to breakfast, brunch, lunch, dinner, and have no reason to worry about any faux pas, something he might say that's wrong, something culturally that may not align. Whereas with Maria, okay, she's exotic, she's attractive, but her culture is very much a very stern and strict culture in the way they practice their religion. Now she's chosen to be a rebel to the grain, go against the grain, right? The problem is, like Trey said, she's trying to customize. She's trying to pick and choose elements of the cultural aspect and then combine that with this new made up stuff that she wants to do, this Western stuff. And the two philosophies are quite different. So, yes, on the one hand, she wants to uphold certain elements of the culture. I can understand that because she's from a Moroccan background, right? But I also think that um, picking and choosing and cherry picking is going to make it seem like you're not really aligned with any of them, right? You're not really standing on anything. You're just making it up as you go along. This is going to put Tommy in a position where he doesn't understand what she's doing because he's going to have to learn about her culture in order for them to continue their relationship. But then he's also going to have to try and adapt himself and his culture and his upbringing to match or to somehow meet hers, right? And that again, that's common in mixed relationships. You have to learn the other person's culture and all of that stuff. I think where this goes wrong though is Tom leaving the door open for Natasha because he didn't like. I was saying this earlier to my sister. If Ollie had gone to Catherine and said what Tom had said to Natasha, then everybody would be demonizing Ollie. Oh, he's a player. He's an F boy. Then he needs to leave him. He's no good. This, that, the other. If you look at what Tom said to Natasha, he went to her and straight away, I mean, they did hug and everything, but he went to her and said, listen, me and Maria are having problems. Like, there's a strong chance we may not make it down the aisle. But at the same time, he's kissing Maria. Everything seems to be all good. Like he seems to be saying the right type of things to her. But then he's gone straight to Natasha and said all of this. So I was like, nah, he's not all the way involved at all. Like, why would he do that? He had no reason to go and strike up a conversation with Natasha that deep. In fact, Natasha wasn't even looking to converse with him that much. She was under the assumption he's taken. But he wanted to leave the door open. That to me is the major problem, more than the cultural difference, because there are tons of mixed relationships in this country, tons. But I think the ease of him fitting with a Natasha again, she may be more of the type that he dates, whereas Maria's an exotic um, curiosity or taboo, or you know, I've always wanted to date an exotic girl. I've got one now. She's attractive, that type of thing. Um, and I'm not sure. Again, he seems very indecisive too, so I'm not really sure how it's going to pan out for them.
He did say to Natasha, Maria's amazing, and it's not 100%. We don't know at this stage.
It's called leaving the door open.
That is it. And Tom is, how can I say it? Not only leaving the door open, but he's having buyer's remorse at this stage, is what I'm getting from him. It's like, I didn't know it was going to be this difficult. I made promises to Maria, but I didn't know it was going to be this difficult. And Natasha, as he said, looks way more put together than he thought. He thought you're going to be geeked out with the Comic-Con t-shirt and all that stuff. And Natasha came to slay, not him, but she came put together for the camera. So now Tom is looking like, dang, I have buyer's remorse. I got to let Natasha know that if you wait for me, let me get through this wedding right here. If you wait for me, maybe we could, swing back around. And I don't know which is worse. Is it worse? Which one is worse? Because for me, there's no second chances. There ain't no spinning the block. Coming back at the pods or coming back after the wedding.
Tom is messy, and that's my real problem. I'm starting to get with him, and the only reason I say this, he's messy for one reason. Up until this point, I was cool with Tom. I was like, all right, yeah, he has his certain viewpoints, but that's fine. That's his viewpoints. When I started getting the issue was doing that mixer when he saw Latasha. Then he, like you say, he left the door open. I was like, all right, bro, what you doing? I see what you're doing. You're trying to be playboy. I see what you're doing. Then what turned me off, I'm just like, bro, Tom is messy. Why would you go and tell Maria that Natasha told him that she was still in love with him, and it made me uncomfortable?
You know why? So you won't believe anything Natasha says when she comes and tell you the truth. You're not going to believe anything.
True. But that still can backfire on you. It still can backfire on you. Because it's going to be determined whether she said it or not. Because I don't think we actually saw that. Did we see that? I don't remember we actually seeing that. He just told Maria that. And I was like, when did Tasha say this?
Tasha just said that we had in the pods, it was intense. You can't just turn off from, having that intense feeling for someone. But she's like, but you're happy you're with who you were meant to be with. She left it there. She left it on the cutting room floor. We are done. I still, do care for you, but you got a woman over there. And here she comes saying, we need to go sit down.
So now it looks like Tom is either straight out bold-faced lying or putting 10 on 2. And either is not good. That's why I said, all right, Tom is now being a complete mess and an a-hole. Like, he's being very messy by going back and telling Maria that. It seemed like he's always trying to, like you said, yeah, he's trying to cover his tracks. Don't get her to believe you, whatever. But honestly, what cachet have you built for Maria to even believe that? Just
but
take your word off of.
Have we seen him be messy before?
The only indication that I would say is, and this is small, but it is indication. Back when they was out on vacation, where were they on vacation?
Greece.
Back when they was in Greece, when it was just him and her talking. I think it was after they met up with all the couples the first time. Tom was the one who initiated the conversation. Hey, so what about so-and-so? And started talking about each and every couples and their opinions. Tom was the one who initiated that. So it gives that he may be, I'm gonna bring back an old term from 2015, a chatty patty. He might be a little bit of a chatty patty. And I was like, that's weird. Don't get me wrong. Listen, we're gonna be real here. If we with your girl, y'all having conversations, you might be talking about some people. It happens. But I did think it was kind of weird. We're on camera. You laid up on your side, legs crossed, and you just, hey, so what about so and so? You thought that was weird, right? I don't know about that.
Well, that could have been production led.
Could have been, and that's why I don't know if I wanted to bring it up because I do know a lot of these conversations, and I have noticed them in all these Loving Brides and any of these shows. A lot of these conversations are very forced. They're telling them, hey, you need to talk about this, and then they get the conversation started. It comes off very forced. So even their conversation then, when he brought it up, I was like, that's weird. It's a little weird just of it to start like that. But like I said, it could be an indication like, okay, he's a chatterbox. He likes to talk. He likes to get in some mess and this, that, and third. He might be a throw a rock and hide your hand type of guy. Because it definitely seems like that's what he's doing now. He's throwing a rock at a window for what reason? Is he trying to get Maria jealous?
Because he's also a chatty patty in the sense of he went to Benaya talking about the whole money situation. He's going around. He told his sisters. He's going around telling people, hey, she got a problem with this money. And I'm wondering, is he looking for cheerleaders?
Yeah, he did do that, didn't he?
That's why I asked, because I've seen little glimpses of Tom. Tom is getting a very generous edit, and I wonder if it's because he's the eldest member of the cast. But
he's only 35, ain't he?
He's 38.
Oh, okay.
But I'm wondering, why? But I've been seeing snippets of Tom acting a little sly, talking, because if we're going to say the same thing, Ali should have gone and talked to his person first. Yeah. Tom needs to have more conversations with Maria without an audience, without his sisters there, and without all these other people. And my glaring thing to Tom was, and I don't know it because it's edited, when he said he will be the man, to bring forth in her life what her dad brought, I rang off huge bells because Tom's story of his dad leaving, disappearing, again, has Tom and the sisters, has the sister's dad, his stepdad, has he taught Tom? Who has taught Tom to be that type of male? We don't know. I mean, he could have it, but the little talking to Benaya, and he talks to Steven, he goes around talking to the other guys. He's talking more than anybody else. If you look in the background as to where Tom is the same thing like Ollie and Demi. Tom ain't always up under Maria. Tom work in the room just like Ollie.
Yeah.
He talking here, there, everywhere. He ain't talking to the lady, but he with the fellas. And man, Tom is telling all the business.
Yep. Actually, he was wait a minute. Wasn't he the catalyst of the whole Sam situation? But something wasn't right with that, with Benaya, and
that was Steven.
That was Steven that started. Okay.
Steven told Benaya that if he feels so strongly back in the pods about protecting Nicole, he should tell her. That's why I'm side-eyeing Steven.
Which was a mistake, but I get why he told him that. It was a mistake, but I get why he told him that.
Yeah. No, don't tell. Don't tell. As you said earlier, observe, watch who she's picking,
yes,
and then move accordingly.
Yeah, that's what I said. It was a mistake. It was a bad mistake, but I understood the thought process of what he was thinking.
Because you will always be seen as, or usually seen as, a bad guy. But for Tom and Maria, I'm not sure. So we could go to our last couple. Struggle Streams' favorite couple, the one he thinks is going, bringing the anchor real strong, because they are the wonderful couple of this season, Steven and Sabrina. What do y'all got to say? Because I have problems with Steven and I got problems with Sabrina. So let y'all give them the glowing performances first.
Glowing, I don't know about glowing, because I do think they're the strongest couple, period. I actually, if I had to bet on any couple, it would be them actually making it saying I do. The problem is they are both, especially Steven, but they are both glassing over some serious issues that has come up, and it seemed like no one to deal with it or don't talk about really. The main one that comes to mind that like they was pretty much all on one page until the idea of children came up, and it's something that they haven't gone back to. That it has to be a discussion because I have seen Sabrina flip flop too many times for my comfortability with this subject. You know, because on one hand she's stingent about not having it, then on the next hand she's like, well, on the next hand she's a woman, so she's small enough for like, wait a minute, if I want this man, I may have to cajole a little bit. So hey, how about we think about some alternatives? I'm not against it, but how about this? Which in my mind only leads me to further believe no, you really don't want them. So you're trying to string him along at least up to a certain point. So when it really does come up, it's just gonna be a flat out no, really. Maybe
She quit.
adopt.
She quit her job too. Another one, unemployed.
Oh, did she?
Yes, they talked about it. She said she will open her own marketing firm, but she quit her job right before the show.
Oh,
So that's why I keep swinging for Ben in these chats because at least he got a job. He may not have a place, but he got a job.
yeah. I don't get that whole thing with people not like a Benaya. Dude, he works. He's a satellite. He works satellites. He literally goes from place to place to do what he do.
Yeah, he ain't. Yeah, but the problem is he ain't got a place of his own.
That's yes, but I understand the thinking. If I'm always on the move, constant,
Mm-hmm.
there's to me, there's no reason for me to get a permanent place, especially if I'm not going to be there. Now, this will let me back to him and my question of is he actually ready? Because he's so used to being a nomad.
Mm-hmm.
Is he ready? Because if he is, him coming on the show, he understands. All right, listen, I might get with somebody. That means we may have to put down roots somewhere. And if he's ready to do that, then hey, there's nothing wrong with Benaya. He's good to go. He just need to get over this Sam situation. Him and Nicole to be okay. Just
But
watch
the
out for Nicole.
reason why I went to Ben is because I mentioned Sabrina is unemployed.
Sabrina. Now
She
this
said
that's
it.
that's a little troubling. Like you just okay. Okay. You know what? Before I say it's troubling, I would have asked questions. You say you want to open up your own firm. How close are you into achieving that? Like,
She quit
where
the
you
job
stand?
right before. I don't know, but she quit the job right before the show.
That's before we even get to that. That's here it is there. I want to find out how close are you to actually opening this firm? Do you have a brick and mortar? You got your LLCs in place? What are you doing? Where are you exactly? You know, because but if she actually has some things in place, then her actually quitting her job may not. Yeah, it's like, but it may not be as big as it is. She could be just literally in transitioning of opening her own place. So ask questions, but no questions was asked, which is the problem.
Yeah, this couple. Yeah, I think the glaring issue is the lifestyle preferences, life decisions. Like Trey said, Stephen wanted kids. He wanted a mini me and this, that, the other. He was certain that that was part of his purpose, his journey, right? And for him to all of a sudden just be like, okay, I'll shelve that. I'll run along with what she's talking about. Maybe it wasn't such a strong conviction for him, or maybe he just said it just to get hitched and then hoping that she'll change her mind. She seems like a very strong woman though, and once her mind's made up, it seems like she ain't gonna change it. And I think she's just against pushing out a child as she gets older. So the idea of surrogacy and adoption and things like that, I think she's very much open to anything except having a kid biologically herself. So that does put them at different positions. And I think it will come up again over time. Because believe it or not, Elsid, and for the women out there, men get broody too sometimes.
Oh yeah, y'all do. Y'all do. Don't
Yeah,
believe it or not. It is true.
Yeah, we get broody. We're thinking, I would like to have a child. I want to have a son. I want to have a daughter. I want to be a father. You know, for some of us guys, we feel it's part of our purpose or something we're destined to become.
This is Elsid, and I approve this message.
Right. So, especially in the confines of marriage, because that means, it's going to be a stable home. Because I've got my wife, I'm going to have my kids in my marriage, and we're going to do this thing. I think Stephen's one of those dudes. I think Sabrina, if she has quit her job, then, why? Obviously, I can understand from a financial standpoint why you want to build your own business. But also that gives you flexibility. So if you do decide to have children, I'm not saying to rush into it, but you're self-employed or you run your own business. It's different when you're running your own business than actually being the donkey that's doing all the work and getting paid the minimal salary. So she can be flexible. She can set her own salary and she can have the time to raise the children if she so wanted to. So it's something that can be resolved, but one of them is going to have to give up their position. And the thing is, I would say this.
As far as the kids, not as
far as the kids, exactly. Okay. Yeah, okay. Not the kids. So the other thing is, even if she does adopt or have a surrogate, she's still gonna need to have that flexibility to raise the child, right? And Stephen is quite adamant that he wants to be there to raise his children as well. So that's half the battle won. You have two willing parents. No matter how the children come about, you have two willing parents. So it's something that they need to talk about more and hopefully resolve. But I still have my doubts about them making it all the way. There's something about their dynamic. I don't necessarily think that Sabrina's not all in. I think she's saying the right things and they have the right vibe and everything. I just think Stephen is probably saying a lot more things that are concerning to me. And I can't quite put my finger on it. They are from different places as well. So there is a logistics side of it. He's from London and I think she's still up in Ireland.
Yes.
Completely different places. Ireland is very wet, very cold, and very rural. It's terrible there.
Isn't London wet and cold?
No, London has 4 seasons in one day. So you have the sun, the rain, some hailstones, some wind, all in the same day. And that's even in summer you might get hailstones in London.
London is Seattle. That's basically what London is. It's Seattle.
Exactly. So very similar to Seattle. But because we have a body of water, we have the Thames and weather changes and stuff. But so I think there will be some logistic problems. There'll be some like if she moves down to London, she'll probably love it because a lot of people do move down to London for work. There's a lot more opportunities down here than there probably is in Ireland. You probably earn a lot more as well. But ultimately, it'll bring them closer. If he moves out to Ireland,
not many CrossFit places in Ireland, huh? Not a market for it. Maybe she can use her marketing genius and promote his CrossFit business there. My thing with Stephen is the difference with him and Freddie. Stephen also has a family business.
Mm-hmm.
This CrossFit is a family business with his brothers.
Yep.
We don't have as much pull and tug here. So Sabrina is marketing. It can work. Can work in her favor in building her firm and everything and helping the family. Now Stephen's going to still need a prenup too. It's a family business.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm wondering, is Stephen, he said he doesn't know how he became Mr. Sensitive, being raised with 3 other brothers. But here's my thing. Is Steven too silly for her? Is he acting too much like Mr. Speedos all the time? She's a more corporate lady. So sometimes I wonder if she is just laughing to be polite.
Yeah,
and then
but
Steven is getting into all the mess. He was involved in the mess with Benaiah. He's standing over there listening with Freddie. Steven is all over. I'm not saying he's messy, but he is present. He is present for all of these things. And he seems to be the dad of the group.
Yeah, I think you do touch on something. He's from the gym world, health and fitness, and she's from corporate. So there may also be some lifestyle clashes there. Because when he mentioned that he owns a gym, she basically said, "Well, I don't do gym."
She said, "You're one of those." I wonder if she thought he was a meathead.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Or also, there is a thing about CrossFitters, particularly.
What is that? I heard that. What is that?
Yeah. So basically, if you go to the gym, it's considered a good thing, right? If you're a CrossFitter, it's considered something weird because you're not doing the traditional sets and using the traditional pieces of equipment that are found in the gym. A lot of it's body weight training, calisthenics, pull-ups, handstands, all these different things. And so it appeals to some people who find the gym boring because it's a different level of stimulation and you're challenging your body in a different way. And then that results in you getting a more leaner and athletic body rather than if you just go to the gym, lift heavy weights and drink protein shakes and creatine, your body changes differently.
Yeah. Right? So we have gym elitists is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's like a classist type of thing. Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. That is weird to me. Y'all are in fitness. I just think y'all are in fitness, but Struggle Streams, you are in fitness yourself. So you definitely are the right person to guide us and let us know what is this CrossFit. I knew what it was, but I didn't know what the way they were looking at it. Oh, you're CrossFit. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I didn't understand that because I used to gym rat myself back in the day, but I don't get when I heard that, I was like, wait, he just do CrossFit. What's the big? I don't get it. What's going on? Like,
it's a cross between weights and fitness, basically. That's what it is. And when you're bulking, when you're trying to get the muscular physique,
hit the iron.
Yeah, you hit the iron and you focus much less on fitness. It's not about fitness. In fact, it's quite unhealthy. You put a lot of stress on your joints. Yeah, you put a lot of stress on your joints.
You lose flexibility.
You lose flexibility. You lose mobility. And then
you gain unerrands under your arms.
Yeah, and you also, like say, you drink lots of protein shakes and creatines and boosters and jabs if you go that way, if you want to go the whole way on it. A lot of unhealthy things. Whereas CrossFit, you're using your body weight. So if any situations happen, you can pull your own body weight, or you can carry someone out of somewhere.
Which is a lot more difficult than people would like to realize, even if you are lifting irons and weight. Carrying body weight is different from carrying iron weight. It's just different. That's why a combination of the two, I'm like, even when I was in the gym, where I was in the military at that time, it was a combination. Like, yeah, I'm hitting irons, but I did a lot of running, CrossFit, calisthenics.
Right.
Had to.
Yeah, you got to mix it up.
Got to do balance.
My thing was, I thought that, I know I'm not on Jasmine's mama level thinking Steven ain't up to par with her educated wise. But I wonder, because we're always seeing Steven when he's with her, making her laugh, making jokes. Right. I haven't seen a very serious conversation with them. I'm sure they're having it, but we haven't been privy to the serious conversations when they did decide they're going to keep both apartments. When they did decide they're going to do London for a period of time and do her area for a period of time.
Yeah, they did it afterwards.
Right. We haven't been privy to that conversation. And then he's silly again, too. Before we board the airplane, I don't want to go. It's always, for me, when he's with her, very silly. When he's with the guys, he's offering the dad advice.
Yeah. Right.
So,
choice. That's
Right.
the director's choice to do that.
And for me, that's gives me chameleon. You know, you are different with your girl than you are with your boys. But for me, with what we're seeing and what the edited version of Steven we're seeing,
Yeah.
I'm seeing jokester with her
Hmm.
and serious dude giving some bad advice.
Yeah,
with the
but
fellas.
again, I don't see anything wrong with that. I mean, she has a pretty serious profession with what she does. I'm sure the last thing that they need is for her to be serious and for him to be serious when they're at home
No,
all
I'm
the
just
time.
saying, I'm sure they are. We're just not privy to it from Netflix.
Yeah, yeah, that's true, but that's because it's boring. They're probably not going to show that.
They
That's
don't
probably
want,
on the
yeah,
cutting room floor. That's probably too boring to show on
they want
TV. They don't
drama.
want to put us to sleep.
I want
They
the
want drama.
unedited footage. I want the unedited footage.
Well,
I
I
mean,
want the bloopers, to be honest.
the thing about it, all we've seen is the more drama-filled conversation with any of these couples. Because this is TV. You know that's going to pull most people. I'm like you, L. I like a balance of everything. I don't mind your boring conversation because that is what actually builds the relationship. That's what I want to see. Even in television shows, give me dialogue.
But I am sure Steven went back to the apartment and told Sabrina about what he heard with Kat and Sam. Don't tell me he didn't do that. Don't tell me he did not do that with
Probably
Sabrina.
did.
They all
did,
did.
but
Everybody
we
was talking
didn't.
about it.
We
Yeah,
didn't see it.
everybody did. Yeah,
Everybody was talking about it. 'Cause everybody saw it. You could not help
Yeah.
but see it. It
exactly,
was like, yo, did you see your
exactly.
boy? You see your girl? You should see your girl. Like she was wild and
And that's what I want to see. Is because the interaction, how Steven tells a story,
Right.
is also there.
I
You
think,
know?
I think they're all doing it. I think they're all talking about Ollie and Demi. I think they're talking
Yes.
about Benaya, Sam, and Nicole. I think they're all talking about each other because if you notice, the group's kind of divided at times,
Yeah.
especially when it comes to Sam and Benaya. Like you
Yes.
probably
And
have
Ollie's
two
in the
people
middle.
talking to Sam, and then and then you have everybody else talking to Benaya and congratulating him and this, that, the other. So
Because
I think they are going back talking.
I'm side-eyeing Ollie the way he was all bros with Sam, but I'm thinking it's just his open personality. Now, one thing
Yeah,
I will say with Ollie, that I'm hoping it's editing because even with the suits, Ollie had one of the fellas from the pods, not a family member, not a
Yeah.
friend.
mhm.
I heard it was editing. I heard she did meet his friends, but they cut that out. For some
Okay.
reason. I heard. Don't know true or not, but apparently Demi did meet his friends.
And he got 4 sisters.
Yes.
I'm like, one sister? Could we have one sister coming through? Even if it's a phone visit, whatever, or even to mention it, say, hey, that was a really good visit with your family, da 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 da. But even at the suit, he didn't have a friend from London come for the suit fitting. And I wonder, it could be that, hey, some friends don't want to sign the NDA. I don't want to be on TV. You put me on blast. But he's the only one apart from it's him and Bobby. We didn't see friends. We didn't see family.
Yeah.
I think there's a reason for that, though.
We gonna see anybody on the front row at the chapel?
No, we may. Honestly, we may. We won't know who those people are, but we may. Especially because you gotta have your groomsmen. That's when we're gonna see them.
And walk in with your mama.
Yeah, that's when we're gonna see them. Now, I think the reason why they didn't show it. Now, this is just for the show purposes. They got to set a certain narrative for what is going to happen later on down the line. We're already kind of predicting that these two Pacific couples, one, we definitely probably shouldn't make it. One, we're hoping, but it probably won't. Now, let's say, for instance, they both don't. And Ollie and Bobby let their prospective partners down at the altar. What looks better on TV camera? You showing the same thing we're pointing out that Ollie's being sort of distant. We haven't met any of his family. It seems like he don't want Demi to meet in the family. That looks better narratively writing for what sets up later on down the line. There's a reason why we don't see some of this stuff. Why they cut some things out.
And I'm fine with the family not being there. For me, it was like one of your boys could have been there for the suit fitting. We don't have to have the family visit. Your family could be abroad. They could be elsewhere. Don't want to be on camera. Don't want to sign an NDA. I'm fine. But when, my thing with Ollie is everything is the pod bros. My pod bros are my connection. And I'm like, does Ollie family live too far? But he has to have some bros locally. Or does he live too far?
Well, I think the other thing is he did get on very well with Demi's family. So it would have been great if they could reciprocate that and have Demi meet his family. So I do see that.
Yeah. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of it. So Steven and Sabrina, we yes or we no?
Boy.
I think they're both gonna be yes. I don't know how.
I think they're gonna say yes, but I don't think they're gonna last long.
I agree with you, Struggle Streams. I don't think they're gonna last long. And the only person that I'm icking about, is Sabrina. I don't know if she'll say yes, but if she goes first and say yes, I know Steven's a yes. I haven't seen anything from it. Okay, Bobby and Jasmine, yes or no?
No, I hope not. I think Bobby likes her enough to say yes. I think she likes him enough to say yes. I think it's going to be too much of a turbulent relationship. So I hope they respectfully say no. I can see them saying yes, but I hope they say no.
Bobby's going to be the ultimate F boy. Jasmine's going to go first. She's a yes. I'm telling you, she's a hard down yes.
Yeah.
In this particular relationship, because she knows how she is and she knows what she's probably going to become, and this is probably the best situation she could get out of this.
Yeah.
So yes. Bobby, on the other hand, we've been saying Bobby's quiet, Bobby's observant. Well, we never actually said that. Bobby's observant. He watches. He's stupid.
A salesman. He's a salesman.
He may not have went to the university, but he ain't stupid. Okay.
Well. Listen, they're going to have to hold back Jasmine's mom when he says no.
That's fine. Yeah. We're going to see Bobby looking at the corner of his eye, making sure, okay, I know she's coming because we're about to do this.
No, he's gonna have to say, listen, can you make sure the place is secure first before I say what I'm about to say? I.e. Jasmine's mom outside the venue. Because he's going to be coming with some Pacquiao punches for that boy.
Depending on the type of F boy I think he's going to be, you know what? Y'all are right. He could say yes on decision day.
Yeah.
But as soon as they leave there,
I gotta go make a music video.
Annulment.
I'm sorry, it didn't work out. We're gonna catch him at reunion. It just didn't work out.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be a situation like Jeezy and Jenny May. I think they're gonna say yes, and then as soon as it comes to living together, the mom's gonna try and I got to move in too, and he's gonna be okay, no, I'm sorry.
Get yourself a 2-bedroom. I'm having a second one.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. You and mom gonna have to live together because I'm not living with you. It's over.
Next one, Tom and Maria.
No.
Ooh. No, I don't like the way he left the door open for Natasha. Nope. I don't think so.
He's a no. Tom is a no. He's gonna say no.
Maria's a yes. Tom's a no.
Yep.
I think Maria might be a no because how judgmental he was. She was crying in the bed.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I saw that.
Maybe, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I hate to say this, but Tom presents herself as too stable. She can't say no to that. If she can lock that in, she's gonna lock it in.
Is Tom stable?
The way I specifically said the way he presents himself and the way that he's been saying about his job, what he does, he presents as extremely
stable. It won't be the first time a cell phone has broken up a relationship.
No.
Okay. Next one, Freddie and Catherine.
Oh God, somebody save Freddie.
Yeah, we gotta say Freddie. No, we gotta hope Freddie snaps out of it and says no. No,
God,
Catherine, you're red. Listen, Catherine, Your red flags are as large as curtains. No.
If Catherine says no to the prenup, that should end it right there and there. They won't have to get to the wedding.
I agree.
Exactly.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
she will say no. If she says yes, we might be in trouble.
Yeah.
Well,
I
she
agree.
better, I always tell, when my friends have the same reaction to a prenup, I'm like, the prenup is to protect you too. You better come with your own list of demands. So
Mhm.
if she agrees to the prenup, she better bring her own list. And I think the prenup is really good. And Catherine living with her parents, she need a place to stay too. She need to get up from out under her parents.
Yeah.
And you know what? It goes way easier to hang doors when there's a second set of hands. Okay.
She is looking for a soft place to land. Let's
Yeah.
keep it real.
Freddie need those doors hang. I'm sure it's hung now, but a second set of hands will make the job way easier.
Catherine ain't offering her hands to help Freddie do nothing.
Well, she did close the door when she had to pick it up, so she is going to put some sweat in. Last but not least, Ollie and Demi.
Yes. I hope they make it. Yes.
Oh,
I'm going to say yes.
This
I
is my
think
hope
Ollie
couple.
says yes. I think Demi says yes.
This is my hope couple. I am so hoping. Demi is a yes, hands down. My fear is the way that they're setting up their storyline.
Mhm.
I'm not a fool. I'm watching how they're setting this up. The way they're setting up their storyline. Ollie gonna pull. Uh, Demi,
We
I
could be
love you.
buds. We could be
Demi, I love
buds.
you. You know, I feel you. You know, I love you, girl. I love you. But let me just tell you. Listen, I just see us friends. I just be with friends. You know,
Yeah.
friends.
Yeah. I can see that. I hope he doesn't do that though. I really hope he
The way they're
doesn't do
setting
that.
it up.
I'm
What it's
hoping
looking like.
I'm hoping they're throwing the okie doke at us. I'm hoping that they're giving us sound bites from before to make it sound like they're still doubting themselves. Because I don't want to have to hold back Demi's dad like we're holding back Jasmine's
Yeah.
mama.
Exactly.
Daddy all about football. And if you don't want to see a groom tackled at the altar, y'all better hold back Demi's dad.
Yeah, that might be the issue.
And all the rest of her siblings too. I'm gonna say this though. I'm gonna put this caveat. If they have been intimate, I think it's yes. If they haven't been intimate and it's got to the altar stage, then yeah, I can see Ollie saying, "I love you, but as a friend."
I don't know. I would almost agree with that, Jr. But the way Ollie been moving, I have to put a caveat to it. If they have been intimate, Demi have to show out and put it down crazy, crazy. Hey, I'm sorry, Errol, but you men gotta talk. She gotta show out.
I have no problem with the talk, but I'm like, why she gotta be crazy?
Listen,
She just gotta make it
She
memorable.
gotta put it
It
down.
just gotta
Yeah.
be memorable. She
Ah,
gotta put
listen.
him on a hook.
Mm,
She gotta put him on a hook and make
Yeah.
sure that line can
okay,
hold that
that's
weight.
fine. I'm fine
Okay?
with it.
Listen, we can all see that Demi's blessed, right? As Trey said, she's blessed physically. So I don't even think she has to do anything crazy.
And
I
she's
think
fit. She's fit.
We
she's
just
fit.
throw
She
the weight
plays
around.
football. She does martial arts. She does all these things. She got cardio for
She can
days.
wrap him up.
Listen,
She can wrap him
hold
up.
on. Well, no, don't do that. Don't do that, Demi. Listen, do not pick that man up and put him on the counter like some of these women be doing in some of these videos. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right?
Do
Not
not
first
make
time
him.
out.
Don't make
do
him
that.
feel
No, yeah, don't do that. No, that's too much.
like one of the girls.
You know, maybe a couple months in, you grab him up like, nigga, oh, he might like that. Then he be like, oh, okay, yeah.
So basically, you're saying, Trey, don't let him know that you could win in grappling.
Yeah, don't rough him up. Don't have your wicked way with him. Let him feel like he's having your wicked way with you.
I think he already knows that. He just don't want to experience
So,
it. Don't do it.
Demi, basically what they're saying is not winning is winning.
Yeah, you don't need to survive kick the man.
Pick and choose when to win, Demi. Pick and choose.
So here's my question then. I don't see much physical affection from this couple other than laying on you. I don't see hands. I don't see footsie. I don't see anything on camera, even small, that we're even rubbing shoulders.
Well, that's the issue with them. Demi has said multiple times yeah, out in public, she even said it as kind of a hit. He may have an issue with PDA, but when they're behind closed doors, apparently
with no
it's all
camera.
hands. It's all hands.
With
No
no camera.
It's all hands with no camera.
You know what I call that? If it's not on camera, plausible deniability.
Wow.
That's what I call all the way hidden. You ain't just hidden in the four walls. You hidden off camera. So
That's
again, if you getting handsy with me off camera, that means you only want to date me at night when the moon is not at full mast. Okay? You keeping me hidden. You can deny that anything happened because it ain't what? You ain't got footage. So that to me is glaring. But I do have hope. Hope is a four-letter word. I know. But
so
I have hope for this couple.
Nicole did the same. Plausible deniability.
Exactly.
Listen, I guarantee you. I guarantee you. If he has seen Demi undressed, he's seen the full moon. I think they've gone to the promised land, and not everybody's comfortable doing everything on camera. I get it. They do lay up with each other. They do kind of have like a huggy, kissy vibe going on. And I think that, like I said, if they've done the stuff, yeah, if they've taken it, if they've gone to fourth base, then
you know why I think they have? You know why I think they have?
Oh, I think I know they have.
You know why I think they have? Because I'm still forgiving you for everything. The toilet seat up, the sock in the toilet. I'm forgiving you for even throwing the avocado seed on the floor. I got to clean this up. There's a whole lot of forgiveness in my heart for you. And I forgive when you are of service.
When you're laying the pipe, when you're a good plumber.
When you are of service, there's a lot I can forgive.
Right. Also, there is one thing actually about this couple that we didn't touch on, and that's Ollie's ADHD.
Yeah.
Because that's also something that he's struggling with. She's struggling with insecurities about herself and how she fits in, and he's struggling with that. Yeah,
it does explain a lot especially how he acted with Jasmine. That explains a lot.
But yeah, hopefully they work. Hopefully they mesh. Hopefully it's good news.
Hopefully, I wish for all the weddings to be successful. Though we can see red flags flying high in many. One red flag, I hope her wearing a red dress on her reveal wasn't her red flag. But you know what? I understand the premise of the show. You do have to state your decision in front of friends and family at the altar. But what I would ask is that whenever we do that we do it as gently as we can. This is going to live on in infamy, online, on Netflix. So if we are going to say no to anyone, even in our real lives, can we do so gently? Can we do so with respect and understand that we are in front of both of our families and friends as well?
We may not see none of the weddings.
Well,
all of them. I mean, we may not see all of the weddings.
It's supposed to be all the weddings tomorrow. We may not see all.
One couple might not even make it there.
I understand.
That would.
We've only seen a few brides in their dresses, is what Trey's trying to get at. We've seen the footage of only a few brides. And what warms my heart is that I've seen Demi in her dress.
And I've seen Ollie and her at the altar as well.
There you go. So everybody else is collateral damage. I'm invested in Ollie and Demi. Y'all can have the rest. I'm going to be doing it, there. But what I don't want, Love is Blind Mexico, there is one couple that did not make a decision, and they ran away from the cameraman into the gardens and didn't say anything to the guests or anything to Netflix. So again, I need decisions at the altar.
Who talking about Willie?
No, I'm not giving it up. They're gonna have to watch my recap to see which couple.
Oh yeah, the episode. I gotta watch the episodes.
Yeah, you gotta watch the episodes. So, any last words, gentlemen?
Man, glad you enjoyed the review. Check us out for another super panel review coming up at the end of these newly released episodes. And it was a pleasure to be on your channel, Elsid. And yo, Trey, good to see you, bro.
Listen, it's always great speaking to beautiful minded people. You can have a conversation, have some funds. Hell, you become one of my favorite people, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're lucky. Y'all are two of my favorite. Y'all on the list. Remember back in the day, you have the top friends you could have unlimited minutes with. Y'all would be on my friends list. What your circle? Your top circle? Y'all will be in my friends list. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for joining me, and thank you for everyone who has made it this far. Please go on to Struggle Streams and subscribe and look at his videos as well. He does do content for other shows. And please join me. I'm covering Love is Blind UK, as we just did, and Love is Blind Mexico. And we have a ton of Love is Blind coming up. We have Habibi. We have Sweden has been approved for 2. We have Love is Blind Germany coming up. We have a lot of Love is Blind coming up. And I'm going to find some other stuff to talk about because I am learning a lot about foreign cultures while going through the relationships on Love is Blind. So like, share, subscribe, and thank you for joining us. Have a good one.